What's up, good people? What's up? Welcome back. Had some technical issues the last time I was on the air, but anyway, we back in the building. You see what's going on. You see the title. You see the thumbnail. Slightly piggybacking on what I was talking about the last time I was on the air when the technical issues from hell happened and everything just went on the fritz. I thought I was gonna have to go buy all new equipment, but I figured it out. I had to call somebody, had to get on the phone with technical support. I'm glad everybody we had extremely high numbers. We had like 400 people sitting in there, and I was just sitting there running my mouth, just talking. Everything just shut down, went mute. And while I'm sitting there for 7 minutes, 10 minutes, however long, trying to figure it out, for like 5 minutes or so of dead air, the audience didn't even drop down. So man, y'all held me down, man. That was a lot of love. So nothing but respect for y'all. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. I want to thank y'all for coming on through. People already following on in. Make sure you hit the like button. We about to get into this thing. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's get started. Let's make it happen today.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
Almost messed up again. All right. So we back at it. Like to welcome everybody to the show. What's going on, good people? What's up? Salute to everybody that has made it on in. Let me pull up the video myself. Let's get things started. As I was regretfully mentioning, hold up, I got all kind of things going wrong here. As I was regretfully mentioning the technical issues of the previous stream, or I had to wrap it up momentarily. I want to wrap up what I was saying because I had a lot on my plate I was getting to. But then I'm going to transition into a new topic, loosely related, but not exactly related. But I definitely will transition into that. But what was really prompting me was there's so many things about the recent events of Kevin Samuels' viral video that just has my mind just pondering, because I quite often won't react to what happened. I will react to people's reaction to it. It's like, okay, this happened, and what are people going to do? What are people going to say? How are people going to respond to it? And we're seeing some overwhelming results that more or less show that that it's a situation. And I'm sitting here trying to take care of something while I'm doing my little pre-show ramble. Bear with me. I'm sitting here clicking on things, and things aren't popping up the way I need them to pop up. These aren't exactly technical issues, but they are slight issues. So just give me a second. I'm trying to get some things together. But when I look at people's response to things, it's always very telling how people respond to various things and various events that happen. Sometimes people will surprise you. Sometimes you will get information that you were completely unaware of. I've been noticing that's been going on quite a bit. And so yeah, analyzing that is it's kind of an ordeal. Omega Dreads in the building. Man. You came through and you dropped the last time I was on the air, you dropped a super chat. A very sizable, heavy-handed super chat, and I was cooking so good that day. That I didn't properly shout you out and make you a formal sponsor of the show, but I got you today. Today's show is brought to you by Omega Dreads. Thank you for. I had to have my son bring me something to drink. I'm good. Wait, hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, I don't got no coffee ready to go this morning, so I'm drinking early in the morning, drinking Mountain Dew Zero. That's the thing, Mountain Dew Zero. But shout out to Omega Dreads, man. Got to salute Omega Dreads. Came through with the heavy-handed super chat. He said, "It's all good, bro. Spend it before it collapse, brother." Nah. I don't spend my money. I'm like Marshawn Lynch. I just let it all sit there and pile up. No, I do got to spend some of it. Do got to spend just a little bit of it. He says simp title. Let me explain. Well, I was already explaining. I talk about how people react to it. How, women can do no wrong. They're all queens. They're all queens no matter what. They're not to be criticized. And not to be criticized, you can be average at best, but still a queen. Shout out to Obsidian, who did something that was sort of unexpected. He played the whole video. The whole video of that actual interaction between that woman and Kevin Samuels. Obsidian played the whole video from beginning to end, top to bottom, because I didn't even realize that WorldStar edited it. Now, I do remember seeing that video live while it was happening, and I did feel like when I was watching it on WorldStar, or the WorldStar version of it, that it was a little different. Something seemed to be missing. But it was a while ago. It was, it was in November, and I couldn't put my finger on what was missing. So shout out to Obsidian for playing the whole clip all the way through. And also another shout out to Obsidian. I didn't see the highest numbers. I did not see the highest numbers, but, well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I just know the highest I saw the numbers at was 1,100. So I don't know if he cleared 1,200. It was like 11 and some change. So shout out to Obsidian. His show is rolling. Old man is on fire. Gotta definitely give props, salute, shout out to him. I hope he keep growing, keep thriving. He definitely deserve it. He definitely have put in that work over the years. He definitely put on a great show yesterday and had the numbers knocking it out of the park. I've been theorizing on what exactly is going on with Kevin Samuels, because he didn't go live Monday. He didn't go live Tuesday. I'm speculating that he's just letting the anticipation and suspense build up, because if you look at his numbers on all his older videos, all of those older videos are just bumping up in numbers. So all the new people, the over 60,000 new subs, I'm guesstimating over 60,000 new subs. They just coming in and binge watching all of his old stuff. So he's just letting them binge watch his old stuff. But he's supposedly supposed to be going live tonight. So I am interested with that. It's very, very possible that he could break the internet tonight. He's liable to have upwards of 10,000 people in there. Who knows? Like it's going to be crazy tonight. So I'm looking forward for that. I can't wait for that one. Okay, 1,200 plus stream broke a record. Believe I've never seen him over 12. Well, there was a moment when he was getting roughly 1,000 every night. So I don't know if during that time he was hitting 12 or not. The highest I saw it last night was at 1,100. It was like 1151, 1173, and then I had to put my phone down and quit looking. So I never saw if he broke 1,200. When I checked back, he had dropped back down to like lower 11 in the low 11s, and then dropped down to right around 1,000. But man, salute and shout out to the old man. He definitely did the thing on the numbers yesterday, man. That was a big day for him. So shout out to him for that. But I think Kevin Samuels about to break the internet tonight. I think everybody in a grandmama, sister-in-law, baby cousin Tracy about to be up in that joint tonight. So yeah, it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be going down. One more thing, one little semi-mini. He says, "Welcome to the official beginning of the end, fellas." Okay. You just full of doom and gloom. The sky is always falling for Silent Lamont. The sky is always falling. There's no doom and gloom here. Nothing is coming to the end. The sky ain't falling. Nothing bad. I see no negatives out of none of this. No negatives at all. But people are entitled to their opinions. Before I get into the main topic that I want to get into, and I'm just doing a pre-ramble, trying to ease into the topic. I'm upset that my last stream just cut off on me. I'm very upset about that. It didn't just cut off on me. It more or less had severe technical issues. I'm very upset about that because I had a good thing going. My numbers was looking good. Normally I don't be over 400 unless I got a real live panel, but I was at 400 without a panel, so I know it was about to go down. And right when I was ready to open it up, everything hit the fan. But it was a few things I wanted to get into. Yes, I wanted to talk about well, I mentioned how what Kevin Samuels got going on over there, how it's just the perfect cocktail. The perfect cocktail. It's hard to even explain it. It's hard to even explain it. Let me dig into this. Bernard, I have been telling you guys that it's about over. The day of the Daggle. Oh, the day of the Daggle is over. Oh, okay. Well, you've been saying is okay. All right. I didn't know exactly what you meant by it's over. I almost don't know what you mean by the day of the Daggle is over. Are you saying they're going to not be Daggles? Or they're going to be brutally called out? Is that what you're getting at? Which one? I think what's over is the whole tenor of the conversation when it comes to people talking about Black relationships. I think the old guard is pretty much done. I think at this point, at this moment, this snapshot in time, Kevin Samuels is bigger than Derrick Jackson. I know you can overall say, I know he not. Only difference is Derrick Jackson been doing it longer. So Derrick Jackson got more subscribers sitting in the chamber. But, people subscribed to you 5 years ago. They still sit there as a subscriber. They probably not listening. But as far as an active audience goes, Kevin Samuels is bigger than Derrick Jackson. That I can say confidently. That I can say confidently. And so when it comes to discussions about Black relationships, Black men and Black women getting along or not getting along, or having discussions or back and forth, this whole gender war type of thing, when it comes to that whole ordeal, and the biggest name in the business is somebody who's spitting some very red pill manospherian talking points, that changes the game. Like that changes the game. It's a whole new ball game out there. You can get critical. You could criticize this, criticize that. Like I said, I understand some brothers don't like his position on marriage and all of the whole works. I get it. I get some of the criticism. Sometimes I just be out there. Sometimes it sounds like Negroes would be just hating, but I ain't calling nobody out. But sometimes it seems like that. But sometimes there are legitimate critiques, as everybody have some things that they can legitimately be critiqued about. That's normal. That's how it's supposed to be. That's basic, conversation and different sentient beings with different thoughts and ideas. So of course, there's going to be some critique, some criticism, some this, some that, and all of that. But at the end of the day, somebody coming through. Oh, that's a good point. I got to get back to my point. But you said, I wonder who are the new subs. I wonder who the new subs are. Most likely dudes from World Star Hip Hop. That's part of that secret sauce, though. How do you make a show for women? A call-in show for women that is mostly viewed by dudes, but women love to call in, can't stop calling in, can't get enough of calling in. My woman actually told me that she know of a Facebook group where they, well, no, I don't know if it was my woman that told me that or somebody else told me that. I can't even remember now. But they having like Facebook live watch parties, like, and there's women that get together. No, this is what my woman told me. She said she know of a friend that she said she got a friend who she told about Kevin Samuels' show or whatever. She had mentioned it. I forgot. I don't know if it was when something first went viral. I think it might have been the first time he went viral. I don't know what it was, but no, her friend came to her and told her about it. And my woman was like, "Oh yeah, I know." I know, because she's seen Kevin Samuels on my show, so she knew who Kevin Samuels was, of course. And then my woman just recently told me that that a girl that she know, her and her friends, they like get together and like watch the show together on the TV. Like it's prime time. It's a Super Bowl for them. Something that women like that much, that deal with relationships, but men also like it, and men are also there. And if you look at who's super chatting, it's men who are super chatting. So it's supported by men. I don't know his analytics. And I said something the other day that I didn't really realize what I said. I think I implied that the audience, when you got 4,000 people in there, it's 4,000 women. I didn't mean to say that. I misspoke. But it looked, based off just a snapshot glance of it, it looks 50-50. It looks 50-50. So that's a perfect cocktail where you saying the things that bring women in, that make women want to come in and get the relationship advice. You're in the relationship advice business, essentially, but you're telling them the truth. And you're telling them the truth, and men like to watch it and women like to watch it. Like that's never been done. To be able to walk that delicate balance, it's the perfect cocktail. That's something that's really hard to replicate. But when I look at the overall ramifications of it, will talented people start to replicate it? That was something that me and Obsidian kind of touched on when Obsidian was applying that. Yes, we all need to do what Kevin Samuels is doing. I was like, in theory, that sounds good, but that's very difficult to replicate. I talked about his sales script, his call script that he get on, his experience in sales, his experience as being over couples ministries, his experience in his working in corporate America. Like, you could just hear everything about him just comes out when he's doing that. It's like he's made for that job. It's almost like he didn't choose it; it chose him. Because he could be just talking to a woman and she could just mention, she could be lying and talking about, yeah, well, I lived in, it was proposed to in this city at this restaurant. Oh, what restaurant? Oh yeah, I know the guy who owns that. That's my frat brother. And he started asking the chick about what was on the menu, and he just he it's like he just has that ability to read people. Seems seemingly well connected and could pull all kind of information out. Like he has it. He has the magic secret touch when it comes to that. He has a very unique, specific skill set to where he just knows how to read people. He be reading the hell out of those women, even when they saying all the right things. He knows the right question to ask them to dig out the BS and cut through it. Like he's good. He's good. Nick Penn in the building with a super chat. The first super chat of the day when I got Omega Dreads down there for being a sponsor of today's show because of the $100 super chat. That was from yesterday's show. I forgot to even properly shout him out, so I got to give him all the love today. But Nick Penn says Kevin Samuels' show is proof that women have given up on the idea of learning from other women for relationship advice. That's part of it, and it's a concession that Derek Jackson and all the other types, Steve Harvey, they not helping. That's a concession of that. That's a full conceit. They're acknowledging that all the whole tell us what we want to hear market. No, that's done. That's done. I think there still will be holdouts, but that goes back to what I was saying before. Will people try to replicate that? Will people try to replicate what he's doing? Because it's one thing to just get a woman on the line and talk to them and sift through their BS. There's a lot of people in the manosphere who's good at that. There's a lot of men who are good at that, at sifting through their BS. Like, I mean, if you took Angry Man and had Angry Man take those calls, he would sniff out he would sniff out their BS and hit them with the truth just as hard. But as far as as I say, the dangling the carrot of the high value man that only a small percentage of women actually qualify for, and then they get lured in chasing that carrot of the high value man. They call in and start talking about it, and then he interrogate them, pick them apart, and find out that they don't qualify for it. But the few that do, the few that qualify for the thing that all women are saying that they want, the few that do, he will give them a good advice. I mean, yeah, if you're young and you hot and your body's still intact and you haven't had other man kids crawling up out of your womb, you got a chance. There's plenty of successful men who wife that up. So yeah, if they did their part as a woman and they got a chance and they just need a little advice, he'll give them a little advice. But for most of them, he's placing them right. He's giving a proper appraisal of them and putting them right exactly where they at and where they need to be. Right exactly where they at and where they need to be. This is where you rank. This is your stat. This is your profile. If they start saying they only going to accept a certain type of man with certain type of credentials, then yeah, he'll tell them that they're going to die alone. But if they're willing to accept what they qualify for, then yeah, they got a chance. Stay in the game. They definitely got a chance. They're in the game, and they could possibly get this. Now that may not be everything that they dreamed about, but hell, if you make it to your mid 30s and you're overweight with a couple kids by a couple men, then yeah, you lucky if you do get that average guy to make 50K. You lucky. But them women holding out for 6-figure guys, and then you got Steve Harvey on the other hand, who telling them that they get to set their value and their worth, not the market. And me and Obsidian have done videos breaking that down. So we know how that goes. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Kevin Samuels. Is overall a net positive. It should be a net positive no matter where you're at, no matter how you think. And even everybody else in the manosphere that's doing, related content is getting a slight bump because of Kevin Samuels' viral success. He got this buzzing, man. So like, yeah, these are interesting times that we're entering into with all of this. So I'm so eager to see how it goes, and I'm so eager to see the overall ramifications of it if Kevin Samuels stays essentially on that throne when it comes to relationship advice. And if some way, somehow, some other men start replicating that, and the whole business of pandering to women just gradually dies off, if that just gradually dies off and falls by the wayside, and women are looking at reality and seeing reality when it comes to relationships and the outcomes that they want, they're being told the truth. I do wonder what will be the overall ramifications of that. You know, I don't want to get just too pie in the sky, but movements like that, they can change a culture. Like, I'm sorry, like it's possible. It's possible. Now I know there are those that say them hoes will be hoes, and yeah, it's gonna be always be some hoes, but and that's fine. I'm not saying that we're gonna get rid of hoes, but what I am saying is that that segment of people, of women, particularly black women, being told the truth, getting red pill truth shoved down their throat night in and night out, and they showing up with popcorn and wine like the next episode of Scandal is on to try to listen to it. I'm like, that's amazing. That's I gotta give. I can't find any negatives there. Lord Commander in the building, he says, you have to have what women want. You can't do what Kevin does when you are saying you don't want marriage and you don't want to pay. That's why women are there. He's saying you have to have what women want. Him being for marriage is also a part of the secret sauce too. That is a part of the secret sauce. He does promote marriage. That's part of it. But he says you can't do what Kevin does when you are saying you don't want marriage. Okay, so who are you talking about? Because somebody who I don't know anybody who's saying they don't want marriage, who's even in the running of even wanting to do what Kevin is doing. So I don't. Oh, maybe Obsidian. So I mean, yeah. So it sounds like you may be either responding directly to Obsidian or you're accusing other random guys in the manosphere of wanting to do what Kevin is doing. So yeah, I mean, that's one of those super chats where I'm looking at it and I got to try to figure out who you're talking to. Because I acknowledge that what he's doing is a very hard thing to replicate. He got the skill, talent, and he got the perfect skill set, the perfect, as I said, the perfect blend, the perfect cocktail for it. He got the ability to lower them in and have the conversation with them, but do it in a way to where it's still a conversation men can digest and listen to. It's not a pander fest. It feels like the Steve Harvey, Derek Jackson type stuff if you just listen to the beginning of it sometimes. But then it ultimately becomes what if you watch the show, you know what it becomes. It becomes women calling in and they're getting hit with some red pill truth. But no, it's no mystery to me why the women are there. Well, it's kind of a mystery. On the last part of what you said, that's why the women are there. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to dissect your comment. I don't get it. It's one of those comments where I don't know who you're talking to or what you mean. You said you can't do what Kevin does. I mean, it's only a few people who I would think are truly trying to do what Kevin does when you are saying you don't want marriages and you don't want to pay. That part of not wanting to pay, that, you know, fair exchange is no robbery. He understands a man's supposed to pay 100%. So it's one of those, I don't know who the hell you're talking to or who the hell you're talking about. Or if you're making a coded message to somebody, I don't know. I mean, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know exactly where you're going. Why does she need a man to make six figures? Because the real answer is she just wants a guy to trick off on her. Leo Anthony in the building. Whoopi Goldberg said, "The truth shall set you free. These sisters don't know how to act." Thanks for the super chat, Leo Anthony. Whoa, we got 230 people in the building. I haven't even been watching my numbers. It's like I was looking down and we was at 90. I look up, we had 230. Shout out to everybody that made it on in. Make sure you hitting that like button on the way in. But yeah, I mean, watch Kevin's show tonight. I mean, I'm waiting on it like it's the main event. It's like I'm waiting on it like the Super Bowl. I just can't wait to just see what happens and what's going to go on with those numbers. He said the pandering business for black women will never end. Okay. That's like getting rid of fast food. Oh, possibly. That's very possible. It's very possible that won't end. It's very possible that the pander business will not end. Very possible that the pander business will not end. That's a strong possibility. We can't deny that one. But they got some stiff competition, put it like that. The pander business got some stiff competition. We can definitely agree on that one. That much can't be denied. The pander business. Yeah, I didn't get your movie reference, Leo Anthony. And I'm good with movies, but I did not get your movie reference. That's Sister Act 2? Whoopi Goldberg said, the truth shall set you free. These sisters don't know how to act. Is that like a play on words? But yeah, I can't just be throwing stuff out there and think I'm going to get everything, man. I don't get every joke. Oh, man. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. What am I looking for? I'm trying to find something. I got something I want to pull up. I'm going to get on with the topic. I just wanted to. Yeah, see, I did figure out that it was Sister Act 2. I did figure that much out. Look at Sir Tice with the $1 million question. Sir Tice with the $1 million question. That's a where you at? Bernard Riley. You think these sisters gonna get down to below 20% body fat and be cooperative? It's funny. I just recently just saw a little snippet, a little piece of Tommy Sotomayor. And he said it could be all cap, as they say, but he said that it's women who started losing weight. At least then they credited Tommy Sotomayor. They said Tommy Sotomayor was the reason why they started losing weight. Because him criticizing and talking about black women for being fat, he said that they yeah. So if enough of them are tuning in to listen and they getting beat over the head with that, they some of them will try to lose weight. And if you're just lazy and just not gonna perform well, then you're just not gonna do it. But I think it will get into their head that the weight is a problem. Put it like that. It will be in their head that the weight is a problem, and a percentage of them will lose weight. I don't know. I just think a group of men that's not making that much money, if they tuning in to listen to people shame them for being broke and talking about, and while shaming them, they're talking about methods of, things you need to do to try to get your money right. Shout out to Mel Enlightenment TV, Crypto Gang over there. Me and him going to get together. I'm gonna get started on some of that stuff. I'm gonna put 1,000 on it and just let it sit, see what it do. So I think I think a percentage will. I think a percentage will. But I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I think a percentage will. I think people sitting down listening to something. If 1,000 people sit there and listen to some good advice, I don't know what percentage. 5%, 10% may take it. Another 30% may want to take it, but just may not have the work ethic to do it. And then maybe another 60% is going to fight, argue, cuss, and bitch and moan. I don't know. I don't know what the percentages is on that. But no, it's not going to be just the floodgates opening up. It will be a slow, gradual, tedious process. It will be a slow, gradual, tedious process. Terrence B says, do you think simping will ever die? Depending on how it's defined. Will there always be men who are doing things for women in their pursuit of women, or while they're in a relationship with women where they're not getting proper reciprocity? I think it will always be some of that, because it will always be some men who will be who just that's just how they're going to roll and how they're going to operate. So yeah, I don't think it will ever die, but I think it can be reduced. I think it could be reduced. I remember I was on record saying before, the only problem with the simp is really not a problem. The only problem with him is that he don't get respect or reciprocity. If he got respect and reciprocity for his hard work, effort, and generosity, it wouldn't be a problem. The simp ain't really the problem. It's the way that women treat or react to him. But the simp, I mean, it's goofy. It's walking into a room blindfolded with your mouth open. So yeah, it's goofy. Okay, this is interesting. He said, Kev only has, oh wait, that ain't even the one I meant to click on, but I'll go ahead and read that one. Kev show only has impact in the real world if brothers in the manosphere stay on code. Okay, it has an impact in the real world if brothers in the manosphere stay on code in real life. Otherwise, women will continue to do what they want. The manosphere is relatively small, so whether or not it has real world effect, depending on whether or not brothers in the manosphere stay on code. I don't know exactly. Elaborate on what you mean by that, but that ain't even the one that I meant to click on. That ain't even the one I meant to click on. I can't even find it, but you said that was my issue with Kev when he tried to get the manosphere to start a conversation. What conversation was that he tried to get the manosphere to start? He says, we don't need one. We need collective standards. I don't understand statements like that either, because is he not talking about men having a standard when he's talking? I mean, I hear him talking about men having a standard, a very high standard. So I don't. He put the standard pretty damn high in ways that I don't currently live up to it. So I mean, so I don't know what you mean. It's like I never know what people mean. It's like they just take one thing that he said. They just take one thing that he said, and they say, no, but what about this, that, and this, and that this, that, and the other thing is something that he has addressed and talked about. But it's like, so I don't know. It's like a reach to find a problem. Yeah, I was about to figure out who the hell is this Melody S. I've been seeing a Melody S walking around here, and then she got Melody's avatar. Melody, was that actually your picture in that chick's avatar? Got another super chat coming on in. It was said that Kevin Samuels would bring balance to the force. He prophesied to be the one. Yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. Like another brother here said, they are just bad people. All right. What did I come here to talk about today? Let me get a move on that. But yeah, the Kevin Samuels thing is going to be interesting. I didn't finish my my ramble because I had technical issues on the last show, so I had to go ahead and touch on a little bit of that. And I don't even know if I said everything that I wanted to say, but we may end up circling back on that because I mean, it's show tonight is gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. So I'm just hella eager to see about that. And god damn it, the thing that I wanted to pull up, I just got rid of it. So I got to pull that back up. Give me a few clicks, just a few clickety clacks. And I'll be back on with the regularly scheduled program. So just give me a minute. Everybody in here, I think we got 236 people, 235 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I have no idea how we doing on the likes. I haven't even hit the like button. And hey, we had over 50%, so that's cool. I like that. We're doing great. We're doing amazing. Let's keep that going. Let's keep that going.
Okay, you're the king's bitch. That's
but the whole thing
the king's bitch. And she's not no
about the whole title of the video, it was inspired by the chick that Kevin Samuels called Average, and everybody else. A lot of women, I heard them passionately calling her a queen and this or that or blah blah blah. Y'all know the whole rhetoric, and you can get this and you can get that, and don't let nobody tell you what your worth is and how much your value is because you was a queen and not. You know, you hear all that rhetoric. And in my pre video that I did, because I don't know if y'all noticed, well, you will start to notice that I do a pre-recorded video, drop it at 8 o'clock. That's something I'm going to be doing. Just going to be dropping the pre-recorded video at 8 a.m. So every time you, before the show starts, there will already be a pre-recorded video sitting in the chamber. And sometimes the pre-recorded video will kind of piggyback, well, to the main show, the longer format show will piggyback on what went down in the pre-recorded video to some degree. Sometimes they may be completely different, but I don't know. We'll be looking out for those pre-recorded videos. That's how I'm going to, because it's hard to do a clean show. It's just hard. So to take the pressure off me doing, I cuss on the live stream show, but I keep it YouTube friendly and safe during for my pre-records, and hopefully the pre-record game can grow. And that way I do got YouTube friendly content that's friendly to YouTube and friendly to the advertisers. You got to play by YouTube rules. It helps your channel grow. So I'm working on that. So be looking at my pre-recorded videos. They're not that much different from the live show. They're just shorter format and more quick hitting and straight to the point. So just so be checking those out and be looking out for those. But overall, I started thinking and revisiting the whole concept of the queen thing, because if you saw the pre-recorded video that I dropped, the chick was basically making all that normal queen rhetoric. And one thing that I said in the pre-recorded video is that the queen is only treated like a queen by her subjects. The king doesn't treat the queen like a queen. Because when women want to be treated like a queen, they want to be served. They want a man coming to them with servitude, but he's allegedly your king, correct? Okay, now I'm not saying that the king can just slap the shit out the queen and piss on her if he want to. I'm not saying that he can do that. But if he did, who would stop him? But you see the point. The only people who are duty bound to serve the queen is her subjects. And shout out to Patrice O'Neal. This clip that I never heard until just now. Never heard it. People always talk about it, but I had never heard of it. I knew nothing of this clip. People would talk about it, and I actually looked for it and couldn't find it for a while. But then I finally found it. But this is a clip of Patrice O'Neal talking about the king-queen dynamic. It's only 40 seconds long, but it does it does set up ultimately what I'm going to be talking about here when I start talking about queens. Okay, Des James in the building. He say, I see big things for Kevin Samuels in the future. Ricky Smiley stunt double. Somebody said that about him before. That one is actually kind of old. Somebody said that about him before, called him a Ricky Smiley stunt double. That's actually funny. Look, I listen. I don't care who you are or how big you are. If it's a joke and it's funny, I'm okay with it. I'm going to laugh. I think we all understand the difference between outright mean-spirited jokes and good, clean, funny jokes. And that's a good, clean, funny one right there. So, yeah, those are welcome. Those are definitely welcome. BT's black male YouTuber guest appearance on Haves and Haves Not and one-on-one with Medea. Oh, man. Y'all stupid, man. Y'all some fools. Y'all are some goddamn fools. Oh, man. Let me get that off the screen. He might get some TV spots. You never know. You never know. And thing is, I don't think he had turned him. Oh, damn. I didn't mean to. That's an older thing that I did when I was telling people to go Cash App Judge Zilla. What did I try to click on? What did I try to click on? I'm trying to click on. There it is. Shout out to Omega Dreads, came through with $100 super chat the other day, and I forgot to properly acknowledge him. Had that scrolling across at the bottom. But Donovan Sharp got a lot of people don't know this. Well, I mean, it happened. He talked about it, but he talked about it very briefly, it seemed, and then it went away. But Donovan Sharp got offered to be on good stuff. I'm gonna touch on that real quick. I'm gonna touch on that in a second, Mr. Meach. Donovan Sharp got offered to be on Dr. Phil's show. Donovan Sharp turned it down. Donovan Sharp said he Donovan Sharp said he got anger management issues. He said he knew it wouldn't be a debate. He said he knew he would get in there and Dr. Phil would ask him some BS questions, and he said he didn't want to snap and he didn't want to he said a number of things, but he said they get to edit it how they want to edit it, and he was just worried about whatever kind of, I guess, I don't know, unfair practices that would be done. He was concerned about it, and so he opted not to do it. But Kevin Samuels, I don't think Kevin Samuels is going to turn down those invitations. I think Kevin Samuels is going to show up front and center. If Dr. Phil, Steve Harvey, whoever the hell want to bring Kevin Samuels is going to show up. Kevin Samuels is the image guy. He knows how to work that media. He knows how to be presentable to it. He knows how to talk to it. He knows he's going to knock it out the park. Donovan Sharp turned down the chance to be on Dr. Phil. Now that Kevin Samuels is as big as he is, that's going to be interesting. So you was jokingly saying he's going to get invited to be on BET or have an interview with Medea or some. I mean, you joking, but the truth out of that is that he's going to be. He probably spent all this ever since that video dropped, probably spent all that time being offered to come on people's platform. So he probably been turning stuff down all weekend. But when the right moment come, oh yeah, he gonna show up and answer the call. That's just my take. Who knows? I don't know what's in his mind, but just my take on it is he's going to show up and he's going to answer the call and show up when they try to get him to be on a program like that. So yeah. But as far as what Mr. Meach is saying, the queen herself is one of the king's subjects. That is correct, and that's why they get it wrong with all that queen king talk. That's why they get it so wrong and sound so stupid to me when they start talking all of that Kang and Quane and all of that stuff. They sound stupid to me. Talking about, well, let me roll this Patrice O'Neal.
I'm not fucking some evil motherfucker. It's like my happiness is paramount. When you see a happy woman, that means there's a miserable guy. So when you see a happy fucking guy, it's a happy woman. Because we have to keep them happy. And I'm like, this is not my job to fucking keep you happy. Oh, why don't you treat me like a queen? Yeah, I will. The king's bitch. That's who the queen is. That says it all. Treat me like a queen. Okay. You're the king's bitch. That's what a queen is, the king's bitch. And she's not no scared. It's just she tests me and tests me.
All right, there it is. That was short and to the point. And the simple point that he's making with all this king and queen talk that just runs rampant in the black community. I mean, runs rampant. We got the cocktails with queens and all of that. Even though queens are drag queens is actually what they, but I mean, we ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, so we got the cocktails with queens. We got all this queen stuff, queen this, queen that. The fact of the matter is, the reality is, when they talking about their man, who they're calling a king, and they saying he needs to treat her like a queen, the king does not serve the queen. The queen, the servants, the subjects serve the queen. And as Mr. Meach said, the queen is herself one of the king's subjects. So they got it all wrong and backwards. They got it all wrong and backwards. And another thing that I said in the pre-recorded video that I dropped, make sure y'all go check that out when y'all leave here. If you've encountered a woman, okay? If you've encountered a woman who was on her queen stuff to where she had to be treated like a queen, treated like a princess, in your experience, those women who really just personified that was big into their whole lexicon, their thought process, their pathology, even though I don't necessarily like that word that we throw around too much when we're talking about black people. But those women like that you've encountered, just in your experience, have those women been real big on returning the favor? I know the one that wore that title the most. We met online. She didn't even have her first name on the on the app. It said Princess something else. I don't even think she had her last name. Basically, her name wasn't Princess. Her name was not Princess. But that was the name that she put on there. This is a girl, and I think I've talked about her before, how she was ultimately, she lived with her dad, and she literally lived like a princess. She didn't work other than doing some little, she did little makeup and hair stuff on YouTube, I think. Little stuff like that. Laid around. Her dad did all the cooking and cleaning. She was like 27. That just speaks to how a woman can be a bum and you really don't think nothing of it. Because I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, okay, she don't work and she lived with her dad. And the only time she ever lived not with her dad is when she lived with a boyfriend. So it's like she's just living a life where she's just going to be taken care of, and she calls herself a princess because her dad treated her like a princess. Her dad probably put it in her head that she was a princess, and that's what she expects from her man, to be treated like a princess. But so if you're a princess now, I guess with your dad, I guess you become a queen when you get with your man. So the $1 million question is, does a king Does the king treat the princess or treat the queen like a queen? They flip this around to where the king is the servant. The king becomes the servant in their mind. And these women who walk around with that rhetoric, I haven't met one who flips that around, who goes from being served and feeling like they deserve to be served, but then also have a spirit of servitude. It's like those two things really don't coexist. At least I've never seen them properly coexist. Okay. Olu TV says, do you know what Henry VIII did to his queen? No, I don't. No, I don't. Let's look that up. I'm going to Google it just like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. What did Henry VIII do to his queen? Okay. No. What did Henry VIII do to his wives? Let's see. Henry divorced 2 of his wives. Okay. He had 2 of his wives executed. There we go. Good old execution. I wonder what was the method. Was it off with their head? Yeah, Hood Server, we do live Google searches. Now I just want to know how was it off with their head? Okay, somebody said. Oh man. Was it a public execution? Did he bring her out before the people? Was it like Braveheart? Like, was it? Okay, another live Google search. I got to know why. Why did? Let's see. Let's get it. Let's get it. We got to know. Why did Henry VIII kill his wives? Okay, they already knew what I was saying. Somebody else have typed this in before. All right, let's get it. All right. All right, Henry went on to have 5 more wives, 2 of whom, Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard, he executed for alleged adultery. They were with the king, but was still trying to monkey branch. They thought they had a better deal somewhere else. What did y'all just time somebody out for? Man, I told y'all gotta quit being reckless with your timeout, man. I don't want to take wrenches. I don't want to get into that. Stop being reckless with your timeout. But you gonna say that to her daughter, your daughter? What is she saying? But you're gonna say the same to your daughter because you love her. That your baby. The dad is teaching her that. Yeah, you gotta proofread. Gotta get your proofread on. Okay. Y'all chill with the timing out, man. But anyway, they put in alleged adultery. I don't know. I think I trust the king's divine infinite wisdom in knowing. I think I think I trust the king's divine infinite wisdom in knowing if those women actually cheated on him. I mean, think about it. If you're the queen, you're like the most watched. Like that's like Michelle Obama cheating on Barack. Okay. If Michelle Obama cheated on Barack, I think Barack would have good enough intel to know if it actually happened or didn't happen. Oh, that was a Becky? I didn't even know that. I didn't even notice the race. I just noticed what was said, and it didn't seem too villainous to be timed out. I don't mind women hanging out. Like, y'all can't let y'all morals or sensibilities dictate the mood of somebody else's chat room. Shout out to Soul Provider. He said this space more than any other space on YouTube, the chat room runs the show. And so in YouTube, the chat room, the commentators, they dictate more. They're more important than the content creators in some cases. Because we give a lot of wrenches and drop the link in the chat, and everybody, Brother Xavier said, them women was standing up twerking at that man's restaurant because they actually feel like when black person own a business, it's our business, it's all ours. I twerk at my restaurant, I can twerk at yours. You black, I'm black, our mama's black. Like that. Like, no, you got to act according to how the host of the show acts when it comes to timing out. Y'all don't see me timing people out just for breathing. Corner Store Podcast in the building. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. I don't mind women hanging out. I don't mind women listening. I don't mind them hopping on panels from time to time. Now, I'm not going to promote their channels. I won't do that. And I, from time to time, do receive emails from chicks with either small channels or new channels or struggle channels, trying to see if they could get. No, I'm not about. You ain't about to come up off of me. You ain't about to come up off me. I don't believe in that. But they can hang out. They can hang out. James R. says, that's true, our business. Yeah. Yeah. Ladies can hang out. Let them hang out. As long as they ain't saying nothing to damage the channel. No need to be tripping. I keep getting off my square. But yeah, this Queen King stuff is just goofy. It's goofy. It's been goofy. It will always be goofy. This is an article written by a brother. This is the last thing I'm going to go over, and then I'm going to open this bad boy on up. Silence said, but she won't stand up and twerk on her mama couch, though. Right. This brother wrote an article where he was actually saying some things that brothers can agree with. He was saying some things that brothers can no doubt agree with. But it was still a little bit of simpery in there. But he was criticizing the concept of the queen. I tried to find something written on this, and this is what kept popping up. So I'm just going to go with it. Is that an echo, a hiccup, or is that actually another super chat from Corner Store Podcast? I'm getting error messages for $4.99 super chats. That's weird. I don't know nothing about that. Super chat treats me kind of weird too. Sometimes I can't super chat. Sometimes I can only super chat if I don't comment. So that's why whenever you see me drop a super chat on somebody, it's never a comment. I just drop the money. So I don't know. So sometimes you got to play with it and figure out what you got to do. Real Brother Radio. Anybody blocked you, Real Brother? Quit climbing up on your cross to complain, to persecute yourself. Climbing up on the cross to persecute yourself. Anybody block you, Real Brother? He said they block a real brother because they're scared. They're white racists. They're scared. They're white racist talking points don't fly. All right, Real Brother. All right, Real Brother. All right, let's get into this one. Then I'm gonna open this bad boy on up, and we gonna chop it up just a little bit, just a little bit. All right. This brother says, when it comes to conversations, quotes, and memes about relationships, particularly in the Black community, you tend to see a lot of references to men as kings, or let me say, as kings, and women as queens. And I get the reference. As somebody mentioned in the chat that, yes, it's a term of endearment, and I get it as a term of endearment, but come on. Like, you know damn well we overuse it, and we're doing more with it. We hearkening it back to when we were kings and queens in Africa, and that's kind of a bunch of baloney too. I mean, shout out to Tommy Sotomayor to say that we was kings. That's like Americans, 400 years later, 500 years later, saying we was presidents, senators, and governors. That's literally like them saying that. Like that just sounds goofy. That just sounds real goofy when we get into that rhetoric. So that's the main reason why I push back into it. But I understand a term of endearment, but we out of control with it. We out of control with it. And this article touches on a lot of what I mean by that. When it comes to kings, we tend to see a lot of references to men as kings and women as queens. And I get the reference is meant to be used as an example of a certain standard of behavior. Bullshit. No, it's not used as an example of a certain standard of behavior. Not at all. Not at all. An example of the caliber of man or woman you are. A king does this, a queen does that. It's very unlikely that any of us actually descended from real Egyptian kings and queens. If I'm being honest, I think it's a kind of overused. Ain't no kind of to it. If I'm being honest, I think it's kind of overused in the Black community, and I get a little tired of it sometimes. But like most things in the Black relationship space, much of what is said in the comparing of Black men to kings versus Black women to queens is one-sided double speak, unfortunately. That part he's very true on. Almost always when you're seeing the word king used in reference to a Black man, it's referring to how he should behave, what he does, and how he treats his queen. But as I stated and laid out already, kings are not in servitude to the queen. The queen is only treated like a queen by her servants, by her subjects, not the king. So right there at the gate, they're just getting it all wrong. Getting it all wrong. How he runs his household, the list goes on and on, but you get the idea. Only a certain kind of man deserves the status of king and is based entirely on his behavior in all areas. It gets a little different when we start using the word queen in reference to Black women. It seems Black women, according to every male relationship expert with a platform, don't have any requirements or standards to measure up to in order to be a queen. Women are just queens because they're women. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. You never see anything talking about what queens do or how they should behave or how they treat their men or how they treat their man, etc. You only hear how they should be treated and what they deserve. Do you see the disconnect here? I keep putting this kind of stuff out there, not because I'm some bitter black man who can't get a good sister. I have an amazing woman in my life, and I do treat her like a queen. Well, you're not doing it right. Because if you're a king, the queen is your bitch, according to Patrice O'Neal. But no, what he's saying, I do treat her like a queen. And there's that weird double servitude thing that I guess it could happen, but in my experience, the women who be on that queen stuff, treat it like a queen, treat me like a queen, blah, 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 that they normally don't turn that off. It's normally extremely one-sided, one way, one track, train going this way, and you got to jump on her moving vehicle. That's normally how it works. That's normally how it works inside and out. So, and I've experienced that with that woman that I was referencing that I timed out some lady in the chat about. Her dad did ruin her. Her dad did make her think that she's just supposed to be served by a man that works, and she doesn't want to clean. She don't know how to cook. She didn't know how to cook, and she didn't clean. She was talking about that when she get married, that they're gonna be able to have, somebody to come clean the house, a housekeeper, a maid, or something. I guess he was looking for a high value man, but did she qualify for one? She was cute. She was real pretty. She was slim, but she wasn't fit. She was one of those chicks that was slim, but not in shape slim. It's like it's the difference between I worked out to get, fit. There's a difference between that, worked out to get fit and fit skinny and laying around the house skinny are two different things. So no, she wasn't knocking it out the park in that regard. But so for what she wanted, she's closing in on 30. Talking about she want to get married and have 4 kids. I don't know. Like my little time dealing with her, I dealt with her for like 45 days. Maybe 2 months. I can see why the other guys broke up with her. I can see why she had to be an annoying pest. Queen is synonymous with goddess. She wants unilateral worship. Yeah. Very well said. Very well said. Way to sum it on up. Well, hell, let me give some free attention. Me having respect for my dad who called me princess and spoils me, teaches me and raised me. Why is there a period just floating out in space? That's just, it's like that's a period right there after spoils me. But it shouldn't be there. Bare minimum, you needed a comma there. Teaches me and raised me. Okay, there, these sentences there. Okay. But no, not only is she supposed to be served by a man who is she says not only that, she is supposed to be served by a man who is far better than her. Yeah, the chick in question that I'll bring up. Yeah, she yeah, she wanted servitude from a hard-working, high-earning man that she didn't plan on cooking and cleaning for. It was a weird situation. There's no way that, and she was talking some 90-day rule BS that I dated her for a little bit. I got the draws long before the 90 days though. Got the draws long before the 90 days. That was one of the chicks that I brought up because it was 2 of them that I felt bad about because I knew they was looking for a relationship, a marriage, and I wasn't looking for what they was looking for, but I kept talking to them anyway. And I felt bad about that. And, well, with her, I didn't feel that much bad about it because she was an utter outright she was a bitch, and she was a user her damn self. So I didn't feel as bad with her, but I did feel I needed to get out of her way and let her go and find the miserable person who's going to walk the plank of being with her. I did need to get the hell out of her way and let her go find that. But shout out to Roastmaster 1 in the building. You sent me an email that I didn't really respond to. You sent me an email. Well, you followed up to an email, but you said something in the follow-up email that I didn't respond to. I'm gonna have to dig that up and respond to that. Damn, where was I at? Somebody said something funny in response to somebody said, yeah, I can't even find it. Screw it. Screw it. Last time I checked, having bastards wasn't regal. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Shane Bitches. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. But that chick there, I didn't really feel that bad for that one. There was another chick that I do believe, she was actually legitimately a great human being who was legitimately wanted to be a wife and was legitimately looking for her husband. And I know it's hard to measure the character of these chicks nowadays. I'm just making my personal judgment call. Normally, I know, shout out to ARC, they bring in wholesome pretenders and erotic hypocrites and all of that stuff. But it was one that I actually did believe, and I, should have kept it moving and should have got out of there and left her alone. When I did leave her alone, when we did stop dealing with each other, 2 years later, yeah, she found her husband. So I did the right thing getting out of her way. So yeah, when you actually believe that they actually legit, but you ain't there, you ain't trying to be in no relationship, I'm about fairness in the game. If you see one that you actually believe, because a lot of them be on some BS, they own that, they want to they want to show up to one guy wearing a chastity belt with a fig leaf over it, and bust it wide open over there somewhere. We know how that go. So if you feel like you're dealing with one of them, then yeah, go ahead and try to, break down her little barriers, unlock that little chastity belt, because she on some bull anyway. She busting it wide open somewhere else. Go ahead and do your thing and do it how you do, and don't even, I'm about some savageness if you know that they on some bull. That go back to what ARC say, how a lot of them will say, they will talk like, no, that won't do that. You crazy. And, I only want a relationship, and that's the only way I'm doing this. And ARC, tell the story like he keeps talking some erotic stuff to him. Boy, quit playing, cut it out, and then that happens. That happens. They end up having sex. We've all seen that. We all know how that works. But so that's why I put the asterisk on there. I'm not saying if a chick say the right things that she's looking for a real relationship. She's dating with the goal of a relationship and relationshiping with the goal of marriage. So if you ain't interested in any of that, we can't go no further. I don't draw a hard line to say that you need to outright about face. You can stay right there. You can test her theory. You can test her hypothesis. You can see if she's full of shit. You can stick around to see if she on some, if she just, telling you some BS. But oh shit, coronavirus. But if you determine, if you literally determine that, okay, this is a real deal, then yeah, you should get the hell out the way. But they'll put on the chastity belt for one dude and bust it wide open for another. So yeah, you do need, that's something that's worth unearth, that you can still deal with her to unearth that. That's where I'm at with that. But overall, I do have a heart. Y'all can call me a simp if you want to. I did feel bad. And I changed I turned from my wicked ways when I did that with that one girl. Not the one that was the lazy wannabe princess. The one that was actually genuinely a good woman that I, was being very vague, almost to the point of lying. I was like, nah, that ain't me. That ain't me. It can be you. It ain't me. So that's where I'm at with that. Chief BD says that's why I don't even do a dinner date until we smash. Yeah, I think dudes do need to get the game right on that. When if you just out for some casual stuff, then yeah, them dinner dates ain't the way to go. If you're looking for something casual, dudes do got to get that right. If you just out on some casual stuff, them dinner dates ain't it. Drinks. Invite her out for drinks. But either way. Shit, what was I doing? Oh boy. I told you I don't time her out, but I just glanced down there and it's getting kind of annoying. But yeah. Don't time her out though. That is a very annoying statement. Some women do want to fall in line, but we want to feel safe in that line. Remember, we are your helpmates. Let's just throw off some vagaries. We want to feel safe and this and that and blah blah blah. I swear, we want to feel safe in that line. When we fall in line, we want to feel safe. Act like y'all be getting attacked by bears. I mean, you want to feel safe. If you're in a relationship with a man, you ought to feel safer than not in a relationship with a man. But I ain't about to dig into that. All right, here we go. He goes on to say that's the fundamental flaw in this whole king-queen comparison. This is referring to how they the king in this whole little Black America paradigm where the king, the black man, has to do all kind of things, have certain behaviors, actions, and attributes to earn the title of king. But a woman just needs to be, just need to have ovaries, and she's a queen. The fundamental flaw in this whole king and queen comparison, at least as it's used in conversations and advice about Black relationships, people are teaching women that a king should treat you like a queen, but nobody's teaching you how the king should be treated. And actually, I skipped the whole paragraph. I keep putting this kind of stuff on not because I'm a bitter Black man who can't find a good sister. I have an amazing woman in my life, and I do treat her like a queen, but I made her my queen because I made her my queen because I saw queen behavior in her when I was dating her. Well, what was that queen behavior looking like? What do queens do? They preside over this and preside over that and make public face shows of it. Queens don't do shit. I actually looked up prior to the show to figure out, okay, what the hell do queens do? Their job doesn't entail a whole lot. They don't have exact political the political power is limited, put it like that. I'll just say that there are some things that they do have some control over, but as far as a queen, it's like, what are we talking about? We're just making up these words that sound good. We're making up these words that sound good. The queen does not. What is he talking about when he says he saw queen behavior in her? He saw queen behavior in her. See, even when guys talk about this outside of the manosphere, they talk in a very vague way. I saw queen behavior. What the hell is that? I saw queen behavior when I was dating her. I continue to treat her like a queen because she treats me like a king, not a servant. I couldn't continue to treat my wife like a queen if she in turn treated me like a servant. That's the fundamental flaw in the whole king-queen comparison. No, the fundamental flaw in it is that we even calling each other kings and queens because kings and queens are served, but kings are not, excuse me, kings do not serve queens. The queen is served by her subjects. The queen is one of the king's subjects. That's the fundamental flaw in the whole king-queen comparison, at least as it's used in conversations and advice about Black relationships. People are teaching women that a king should treat you like a queen, but nobody's teaching you how a king should be treated. If we're going to keep using this reference we have to understand that true dynamic between how a king and a queen treat each other. But as we just went over with Henry VIII, the queen can get out of line and she can get beheaded. Let's just roll that out there. A queen's relationship with her husband, her king, is different than the relationship she has with the people who bow and scrape and cater to her every whim. A real queen recognizes, okay, and he's kind of touching on what I'm talking about here. A real queen recognizes the status and position of her king and treats him accordingly. I bet he about to go left. She respects his authority in the relationship, and as the head of the kingdom, she is at his side at all times. She calms and soothes him, helps him, and advises him. She is his peace, and she in turn is treated like the queen she is. Okay. Queen does not have a relationship with servants. They bow and scrape and serve and cater to their queen and expect nothing in return. That's the nature of the relationship, and they understand that. But that's almost what I feel like they flipped it around to where the king is supposed to do all that stuff and expect almost nothing in return. That's what the servant signs up for. It's not what a king signs up for. Now I think he's about to flip it around and say that the king ultimately essentially signs up to do all of that stuff, but supposed to get some sex in return. I think somebody in the chat said that. Contrary to popular belief, a woman isn't just automatically a queen, just like a man isn't. None of us are kings or queens. This is all stupid. If a man must reach certain level to be considered a king, then a woman must do so as well. In fact, a woman doesn't become a queen until a king marries her. Now, that part is true right there. A king can be a king because a king is a king, but a woman becomes a queen when a king marries her. That's a fair point. Black women want to be, oh my goodness, Queen Liz. She has a prince consort, not a king. A king can make a queen, but a queen cannot. A king cannot make a king. Very true. Very true. Until a woman doesn't become a queen until a king marries her, and a king only marries a woman who exhibits queen behavior in the beginning. That's how he knows she's a woman worthy of that position. Now, it is some behavior that actual queens do have to have because they are essentially like the public face. So they do got to behave, conduct, and act in a certain way. So I will recant my statement when I said, what do he mean by queen behavior? Because I just felt like he was talking about something goofy that didn't really make sense. But when you look at real actual queens, or you look at the prince with the receding hairline who married the blackish chick, yeah, she do gotta conduct herself in a certain way. So yeah, that much is true. That much is true. The trouble, and we almost done. Got 2 more paragraphs. I can actually drop the link right now. All right. The trouble with most relationship advice in the Black community is that women are being taught that they deserve a king/queen relationship with a man while offering in exchange a queen/servant relationship. Uh-oh. And if you're showing me signs in the beginning that you expect a certain level of treatment from me, but you don't expect to give the same treatment in return, then you are showing me something less than a queen behavior. Well, no, because queens do get served. They get served by their servants, and they expect their servants to serve them. And in this whole king-queen paradigm, what many women who are queens are expecting is their man to essentially become the servant, who also has to work and fight grizzly bears. You're showing me that you plan to be my queen while treating me as your servant. That woman that I mentioned that thought she was a princess, I remember she posted a video on Instagram. She opened up some little can of mixed vegetables, and she was very judiciously separating or taking the peas out of the little batch of mixed vegetables. And while she was doing that, she was like, "Oh my God, I need a boyfriend to do this for me." I was sitting there looking at that, shaking my head, like, "Oh, I'm glad I quit messing with her." Like, that's what she views her boyfriend job to do, to open up her can of mixed vegetables, or whatever. She's eating some mixed vegetables, and he's supposed to go in there and separate and like take the peas out, separate the peas, take the peas. I think it was like carrots and all kind of other stuff in there that she liked, but she didn't like the peas that was mixed in there. And so yeah. That's what she expects her boyfriend to do, to take the peas, separate the peas. It's like, it was just, yeah, okay, so you want a servant. But listen, in the real world, our world, we don't have servants at our beck and call. So while no man or woman will sign up to be someone's servant, every good man will serve his woman. Hey. You see how he circles back on some simpery. Every good man, you might as well say a real man, will serve his woman. But we not a servant, but we gonna serve her. Every good woman must do likewise in a loving, mutual, beneficial relationship. There's a difference between the two, and if you don't understand that, you may not be ready for the person that you're looking for. All right. Yeah, he sounds a little sassy, But anyway, link is in the chat. Let me get rid of all of that there. Let me stop the screen share. And Jay Rich TV in the building. What's going on? Let's not go. Shit.
Hey, how you doing?
Are you being attacked by grizzly bears?
Yeah, how you doing, man? Can you hear me?
I'm doing great. Yeah, we can hear you now. You had some sound all over the place.
Well, man, first off, I'm gonna just say, oh man, this week has been crazy, especially with this Kevin Samuel stuff that's been going on. Like, damn, man. And the thing is, it's a double-edged sword with this, because it not only puts a direct light on Kevin, but it also puts a direct light on the rest of the sphere as well. So you know, Kevin is leading by example. So we really have to be, on our square at this point in time, because the heat is coming down. But in general, man, like, these women really, they have no right to complain, I feel, because they're dishonestly shallow. Now, I talked with C Boogie the other day, and I told him the same thing. I told him, like, male or female, I believe you should be able to be as shallow as you want to be, as long as you're honest about it. You know what I'm saying? I see nothing wrong with a woman being shallow because you're honest about what you want in life. But these women want to play it off as if there's some type of morally correct person that shit just happens to all the time, when actually they're the ones going out, you know, with the incentive to manipulate. And see, guys, with the dating from
When you
now
said
on, as far as like,
a moral, hold on, wait. You said a morally correct person that happens to. What is that happens?
say that again.
You said they're acting like there's just some morally correct person that happens to all the time. You didn't explain what that was.
Well, yeah. And my bad, but now my Wi-Fi is kind of messing up. I'm kind of breaking a little bit. But let me just say this. Guys, just automatically know any date that you pay for and you're not sleeping with, another man is for free based off his looks alone. That's why, like, be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror. Be honest with yourself, because you got to look at how women look at things in the dating world. Be honest with
Okay,
yourself
so
about your physical appearance,
you
and
were
if it's
talking about
not up to
dating.
par to where you personally, you know, where you personally know that you feel like you need to improve on something, do that. But at the end of the day, let these women know from the jump, if you're not going to hold me to the same standard as any man that got inside you for free, we have nothing to talk about. Nothing. And if they feel a certain way, fuck them. I don't care.
You know, I mean, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Damn, you said a lot that I wanted to respond to, but
No, but it's just that,
I hope
Bernard,
are
more
you
women are
saying?
getting mad nowadays because we're figuring out their game, and they hate
Mhm.
that. They absolutely like hate that because they have no, women have two legs to stand on when it comes to dating. Only two legs. One of them is covered up. The other one is not. You wanna know why? Because one leg is for the guys they actually want to fuck, and the other leg is just a tease for the guys that they don't want to actually sleep with. But they can, you know, anything they can't get from the guys that they sleep with, they'll go to the guys that they don't want. Any problems that they go through with the guys that they sleep with, they'll take it out on the men that they don't want. So
What do you mean
the game is leveled
take it
now.
out?
Guys that they
What do you
don't
mean?
want are finally adapting and moving how they
What do
should
you mean?
move. And you know
What do you
what? That's
mean?
just what it's gonna be.
Hey, can you hear me? Yeah, I think you. I don't know. We must got to. What do you mean by they will take it out on the guys that they don't want?
No, because these women would never go through any of the problems that they go through if they were just truthful. They care too much about being looked at a certain way that they actually like. They care so much about being looked at a certain way. They actually look at other people as if we're not normal, as if we're crazy, as if because it's not your way, and everybody else is living in reality. We're the problem. Nah. If you can go out here and manipulate, male or female, you have no right to complain when it happens to you. And for
Right.
you niggas out here complaining, man, like I said, man, suck it up. Women like what they like. It is what it is. They prefer what they prefer. You owe it all the more reason you owe it to yourself to be not only the best version of yourself, but to live for your own happiness. Like Patrice O'Neal said, my happiness is paramount compared to a bitch. Any bitch at that.
Right.
That's all I got for right now, Bernard. I'm probably jump back on later. I'm still Christmas shopping and shit, but I'm gonna get back at you. Peace, man.
I forgot all about that. Christmas coming. Christmas snuck up on me this year. I had no idea. Yeah, he was saying a lot. It was going too fast when I tried to interject. It sounded like he couldn't hear me, but apparently it was some discussion going on about dudes who it's the whole women using guys is. I feel like that's a very fluid thing because I've been on both ends of that. I've been the guy getting dinner whored, and I've also been the guy who was getting casual sex from a woman who went out on, she would go out on dates and then come to me after. I've been on both ends of that. Oh shit. Everything just skipped. Oh shit, I see you down there silent. Hold on, give me a second. Mic check 1 2. My screen like skipped a beat. Mr. Shane Vicious. It looked like you. All right, hold on. Stand down and stand by silent. Even
Roger
though
that.
I can't see. Okay. Mr. Shane Vicious in the building. He says during slavery, black women were trained to break the boys so the master wouldn't have to down the line. that trait still remains in most Black women today. Yeah, I typically don't do that. If I mean, there are some things that happen in history that change the culture. I get it. You know, we talk about that. Shout out to ARC, Beta Male Revolution. There are things that happen in history that change the culture, but I don't think women back in 1757 having to understand that they got to teach their sons to be a certain way so they don't get killed. I don't think that in all the way in 2000 that behavior still carries on. If women are doing something to their boys, they're doing it now, I believe, for different reasons, and we can look more recent to see why, other than going all the way back to Kemet. I mean, but anyway, that's just me, and that's where I'm at. To finish what I was trying to say about what Jay Rich had said, when I talked about how I've been dinner whored and I've been the guy that the woman came to get with after she was dinner whoring other people. And the funny thing about it, the chick that pulled the dinner whore stuff on me didn't even look better than the chick that was just hooking up with me just to have sex with me while dinner whoring other people. I mean, so it's like a weird fluid thing. Like sometimes you up, sometimes you down. So I mean, I suppose there's guys who are complaining about. I don't look at it as complaining. I look at it as men calling out what's going on. Now there are some guys who got their personal hurt on the line in these discussions, and sometimes, yeah, that's not a good look. That's not a good look. But I think men just having discussions about what it is that women do is a good and healthy thing. And I do feel like some people try to silence those discussions by criticizing the men. Now, sometimes a man do need to criticize. Sometimes a man do need to be criticized. If his only problem and his only motivation in getting in any of these conversations is he can't get the women he wants because women don't like him because of A, B, C, and D. If that's his only thing here, then yeah, I can agree that, okay, you need to roll up your sleeves and figure out how to do what you need to do to get what you want. And that's just that. That I can make a simple answer to that. But if we look at things from a larger, broader scale cultural perspective, where I like to have the conversation from, and you got a group of women who have a stated preference for dysfunction, they, left to their own devices, or even when you listen to a Kevin Samuels call, or even if you just listen to the women talk on their channels, they will make it clear that they have no interest in getting with and committing to a man based off his competence, his character, his willingness to commit to them. They'll make it clear they have no intentions exactly on doing that, because they want to live their life from 20 to early 30. They want to establish themselves. They want to get their career together, or their job together, or their ability to just be a functional adult together. And sometime, in their early 30s, then they start slowing down and thinking, oh, I want to get married and this or that or blah, blah, blah. They're trying to live like men. And that's how they function, and that's how they living. And then, I mean, when men are calling that out in reference to, women using the smoke screen of the fact that they either want to hot girl summer it up, or they just want to be free and not be attached or committed or bound by some man. They want to use, and then they live their life and they end up over 30, overweight, and knocked up by some dude who they had no intentions on committing to, and the dude had no intentions on committing to them, and they want to chalk that up to niggas ain't shit. That's where we come in to tell the actual truth. And that's why I don't mind the guys complaining about the nature of the dating game and the shit that women do, because in the overall big picture, what they are doing, there are destructive outcomes to it. And the men who can participate in those destructive outcomes are typically a smaller percentage of men, because every guy don't get to play the game like that, because if they did, it wouldn't be a bunch of guys complaining about not getting what they want out of the game. So yeah, we can do a spin move, a reverse submission hold on their bullshit arguments against us. But when it gets personalized about somebody just not getting what they want out of the game, then yeah, then if we're having that base level conversation about an individual man not getting what he individually wants, then yeah, then then to do the work and all of that. Yeah, I don't even know who quote that is. I hear Obsidian quoting somebody saying do the work, but whoever's saying do the work, yeah, they're saying that is when it's the right thing. If it's just an individual complaining about his personal problems, do the work. Yeah, I can agree with that. All right. Rose Meth one, he said, Bernard, how would black women behave if the government programs were stopped? If the government programs were stopped, I think everything would conduct itself almost normal for a while, but then they will gradually change over time. But when you mean government programs, I mean, are you just talking about welfare? I mean, it's kind of everything that they benefit from government wise. It's kind of hard to say. It's like the culture is moving in a direction to where it would take a lot of wake up calls. It would take now I won't say a generation of women, but it would take a few years of women feeling that sting of, oh shit, I let the worst type of dude on earth impregnate me. I gave raw sexual access to a dude who showed up with a marching band behind him twirling red flags. He got multiple kids he already ain't taken care of, and I gave him raw sexual access, and now I'm in this situation and I can barely feed this kid with my little part-time job at Walmart. It would take women feeling the sting of that before they start, conducting themselves differently. Sort of like how I say they do a terrible job at picking the father for their kids, but they knock it out the park when it comes to picking the stepdad for their kids. Give it a few years, you'll see them starting to pick the stepdad first when they start seeing people feel the sting of no welfare, no food stamps, no all of that. Yeah, it would take a minute for them to truly feel the sting of it, but eventually that sting will hit. And then that's how that will go. That's how that will happen. But without further ado, we got Silent Lamont and we got X from the Prophet of Thought in the building. So but we're gonna go ahead and go to Silent Lamont first. Go ahead, you got it.
Appreciate you having me on, brother.
Yep.
This is all fantastic, man. Right on time. And again, I've said in the chat, the reason it is as big as it is because America is full of women just like her. America is chock full of basic average women with a bunch of unrealistic demands. And what Kevin did was just told all of them that you ain't worth it. And that's why the country is going up. Because that's all, you even mentioned it. The woman that played you on the date didn't look worse than the girl that actually gave it up to you. You understand? So the 4 is out there acting like a 7. You know what I mean? The game is messed up. Now with Kevin, you take that away. You basically all the stepdaddies, right? All the fallback plans, all heard that. All right. And you just destroyed that market and they know it. So now they're here trying to figure out how can we get the power back, man? I mean, it's beautiful. I love it. Right. But, if we were smart, we would form like Voltron and understand you are in the power position now. They are coming to you. But as I asked fellows on BGS's a year back, they're going to be coming, knocking back on your door. What are you going to do when they come knocking on your door? That really is the answer because they're here now. You done won. And it ain't even December yet. And after December, it gets really rough. See, out here in Texas, my homeboy lives in a decent neighborhood. He just told me yesterday they're already starting to get reports of people ransacking people's homes. You understand? Because people are desperate. All right. See, like the Joker said, man. All right. Everybody's civil, man, when the air conditioning is on. Everybody's civil when the water is on. All right. But 2 weeks without food and the baby crying, you ain't gonna be worried about him making 100K then. You're gonna need that dude to get up there and answer the door with the 10 mic. All right.
Yeah, that speaks to what I was saying, and got another pre-recorded video that I probably will drop tomorrow, where I actually touched on that. How, well, basically, a woman was talking about, well, she was making the argument, the old argument about black men never, protecting or providing for black women or whatever, or blah, blah, blah. She was going all the way back to Reconstruction and Jim Crow and all of that, where the marital rate was in the area of 90%. Why was it in the area of 90%? Because it was actual stuff to be afraid of back then. A woman walking around, a woman living in a home by herself back then, that was a death sentence. Like it was a black woman by herself without a man. Like so why the marital rate was so high. They had to be married to men back then. They couldn't survive in the world without a man. All the Jim Crow laws, like I'm trying to not be graphic, but you obviously know some white guys can pull up in a truck and grab that woman and do whatever. She had to have that man there, and even if he was outmanned and outgunned, he was the first line of defense coming to that door with whatever he had to try to fight off whoever came. So it was clear and obvious why black women had to throw themselves on the mercy of whatever black man would take them in. That was clear and obvious back then. Then once everything got to the point to where, oh shoot, this post-civil rights movement, second wave of feminism has happened, and it's a little easier for us to get jobs. We can get an education, and if we fail at all of that, we can fall back on welfare. We don't need our men anymore. And then the marital rate started dropping like crazy, and out of wedlock birth rate went up like crazy. So it turns into a situation that speaks of what you're talking about. Hey, everything cool when the air conditioning on, but back then the air conditioner wasn't on, and they was down to 30 stuff on with the mercy of whatever man would take them back then. The marital rate is 90%. Trust me, women are beating down the door of men. Please take me in. That's how you know it was some actual real fears back then. Today, there's no fears. Everything is easy for them. It's always sunny. And so, yeah. So now they don't need men. That's why they all want a 6-figure guy. Because the only way they want a man, if it's got to be a really sweet deal. He got to make 100, 150,000 and be and cater to them. And have a queen.
If I can't have a slave, I'll have nothing.
What'd you say?
If I can't have a slave, I'll have nothing.
Yeah, she'll just have her freedom. Have her freedom in her $35K a year job. Yeah, pretty much. X in the building. What's going on, brother?
Peace, brother Bernard. What's going on? What's good, brother Keith?
Bro Steve, what's going on, brother?
What's good with it, man? Man,
bring that in.
I want to try, man. Keep it civil, because I know this is a clean show, so I'm gonna watch my mouth.
It ain't that clean.
But
I got my sexy voice on and shit, man.
I drop my pre-records now when I get nothing but green lights on those ones, or the green dollar symbol. These ones be yellow no matter what. So I kind of given up on my live stream show, but I drop pre-records every morning. Well, I'm going to try to drop a pre-recorded every morning, and that's going to be my clean show. I got a clean show and a not so clean show. So if you slip up and throw out a cuss word, no big deal. Keep it. It's all good.
Yeah, well, because you know me, I'll get up here and I'll go to talking about these old mamas, right, but not today. But yeah, the whole king and queen thing, man, is a misnomer. I think that the intentions of it in the beginning was good, right? Because, it was based on, we were kings and queens in Africa, some old nonsense like that. But at this point in 2020 and 2021 and beyond, it's slang for us, man. It's slang. It's not even, there's nothing behind it. There's no, there's no real connection to anything. When you're talking about someone's a king, someone's a queen, most of us don't even know what a king and a queen does. So to just outright broad-based call somebody a queen for no damn reason makes it what? It not only does it make it a nondescript, it also makes it slang, because that's just something you're calling somebody for the simple fact that they happen to be black. You see people call people kings and queens that they just met. Oh, what's good, king? Peace, queen. They just met them. They know nothing about them. All right? These could be the most terrible, awful, garbage personality people that you've ever seen in your life. but
Yep.
somehow you automatically see a black person and the first thing comes to your mind is king or queen. So it's basically just slang for black at this point.
Yeah, man. You hit the nail on the head. That's very true. That's very true. It is just slang. They don't know what it means. They don't know what it's about. I even, before doing this show, I had to look up to see what does a queen actually do. When you type that in, it's really.
Doesn't she just bend over for the king?
Yeah, I assume she do that. That wasn't even in the description, but I assume she does that from time to time. But I wouldn't be shocked. Speaking of, I think that was Henry VIII. They said, who beheaded a couple of his wives for alleged adultery. He had them beheaded off with their heads. Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like the king is. I always felt like the queen was just a figurehead. The king probably having sex with servants or whoever, the queen is just there, just, she gotta carry the royal legacy. She gotta produce his seeds, but other than that, she just smiling and waving and just doing a Miss America wave to the audience. I don't see. But anyway, but yeah, we just use these terms. Go ahead.
She is calling herself a king. It's just that she's a woman, so she's going to call herself a queen. When she's calling herself a queen, the king she's not even thinking about it. She is the king. It's just she's a woman. That's all. She is the HBIC.
Head with me. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Took a second. Rosemaster 1, thanks for the cash app. Appreciate that. Rosemaster always come through on the cash app end. X, I don't know if I ever heard you give your thoughts on this whole Kevin Samuels phenomenon that's been going on. Like, what's your general thoughts on all of this?
Well, I haven't said anything about what's going on with Brother Samuels.
Yeah.
A lot of what's going on with Brother Samuels is.
I'm sorry, real quick. I'm gonna hop off for about 2 minutes, Bernard. I'll be right back, brother.
Yep.
It's things that have always existed. Those of us brothers who are familiar with Brother Samuels know that Brother Samuels has always said these types of things, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Brother Samuels has been saying these things for years. These are things that are said throughout this medium. It's been being said for years, but it's always been said amongst us, Brother Bernard. Mm-hmm. What's going on now is Brother Samuels is saying it to them in real life and in real time, all right? Not on a replay. He's saying it to them. That is the only difference, because let's be honest here, right? Brother Samuels used to be on a lot of our streams, right? I mean, even I have a one-on-one with Kevin Samuels from like 2 or 3 years ago. He's been around, this medium, this space. So those of us who are familiar with Brother Samuels, we already know. We've always heard him talk like this. So it's not new to us, but see, it's new to them, especially when he's saying it to them in their face, right then and there, real time, no delay, no special effects. And what's happening is, being that Kevin Samuels has become this phenom, all right? He's like a phenomenon on YouTube and Medium now. So you got to think, hey, us people who are familiar with the brother, it's not news to us, but it's news to everybody else. And now people are looking in and they're seeing what's coming out of this said space, right? And everybody's all up in arms. Oh my God, how dare he speak to the queens that way? So it's like, I got to fool with my echo, y'all. I'm still trying to perfect it. But he's saying it to the black women right now. He's saying it to them, man, live and direct. And it's hard to digest, because when we're saying it to each other and people hear it, it's hard to digest. So for us to see it on the quote unquote Jumbotron,
right,
as Obsidian says, it's shocking. People are taken aback because what we don't understand is that brothers like us that say the things we say, we're actually somewhat of a minority.
Yeah.
All right. We're a minority. The people who talk about and to women the way we do, we are a minority. So for that to slip out, all right, for that to slip out into the quote unquote mainstream of black media, it has shocked people. But it's a good shock though. It's a reality shock. Why? Because now they understand what men are really thinking, what men are really talking about. And I think that's the hardest thing for them to get their heads wrapped around, because remember, it was always about the tall, strong, silent type. And when I say silent, I mean the men who just suck it up, the men who just stand in it, so to speak. And for them to see men, especially a man like Brother Samuels, because you look at Brother Samuels, you know, he's the image guy with the colognes and the ties and the suits and the shoes and well-groomed. They don't expect him to come out of his mouth the way he does. Now, people who are familiar with him, like us and the other brothers in this space, we're familiar with Brother Samuels. I've said that a couple times. But other people, not so much. And that's what makes him such a phenomenon, because he's a well-dressed brother, you know, like yourself. All right. Very successful brother. You know, obviously very successful. They can say what they want to say about him. But when you look at Brother Samuels, you can tell he's doing good for himself. And they cannot believe a man like that is giving it to these women so raw, so direct, and so damn full of truth.
Right on. Dropped a lot of bombs in there. Perfect Storm in the building. He says, KS, Kevin Samuels better have a life like those queens are gonna dox. He said in another super chat that he meant dox. Speaking of that, I was gonna send. Okay, I heard I ain't trying to start nothing, but we got to go ahead and say the reality. I did hear a chick doing a response video to Kevin Samuels, and she was like, these channels that say these things about women, or you know, these channels, they can be flagged for bullying. You know, this woman has over 100K subs. She just threw it out there to her audience, basically implying that you can flag these shows for bullying. That was her response to what she did, like a long response to your average at best. But she threw out to her audience, hint, yeah, you can flag these channels for bullying. So that's something to be looking out for. That, yeah, who the hell knows what's gonna happen with that. Great Britain in the building. He says that woman went on, and realistically, she said she said she was a 5. That is middle of the road. Kevin just told her what it was. Oh well. Yeah, he didn't exactly say nothing. He didn't exactly say nothing wrong to him. When you watch the full show, you could better see while he was being annoyed, because WorldStar did some amazing editing where you couldn't even tell they was editing. But you know, you could see why he did get annoyed with her, because it was, you know, she was kind of on some goofy stuff. But that part was edited out. I guess they wanted to get right to the point, to the meat of what was going on. But thanks, Great Britain, for the super chat, and thanks again, Perfect Storm, for the super chat. But yeah, no, he hashtag Kevin ain't say nothing wrong. Triple Black.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, Triple Black. What's up, man? What you got?
Hey, man, what's up, man? Man, you know what? I don't want to beat up this whole thing, because I think the more interesting thing is who's gonna try to silence him, because we all know black women love dysfunction. They love delusion. If you watch Loving Hip Hop, I mean, it's an example. They'll marry a rapper and expect him to be faithful. And, you know, and this show has been on for 10 years. I mean, it's just dysfunction after dysfunction. So I don't know why people are surprised that people go on that, those women go on that show in droves to get cooked. I mean, it's just, they love dysfunction. You know, they have it in their household. They grew up in dysfunction, so it's par for the course. But the only thing about Kevin Samuels, I wonder, because, you know, with his views and things like that, you know, as a content creator, I know with the analytics, he's hit a market that a lot of people have been trying to hit for a long time. And it's a hyper consumer market that spends a lot of money. So a lot of those, you know, companies, you know, like Revlon and all those type of companies like that, you know, they spend big ad dollars. And him doing what he does, you know, you got two of the people that are undefeated on the internet. You got the LGBT and you got Black women with their cancellation policy. I'm just wondering if he's going to be able to survive that, because the clients haven't got him yet. So that's going to be the interesting part. Is he going to be able to satisfy or keep afloat? Because, you know, it's a business. I mean, let's just cut to the chase. It's going to come down to his loyalty. I mean, do you want to put food on your table, or do you want to keep cooking women? And he's going to have to make a choice, man. But thank you so much for letting me talk.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're saying, and I'm going to skip right past you, basically saying his show is like a Love and Hip Hop Jerry Springer show. You called it dysfunction. I'm going to skip past that because I think it's much more layered than dysfunction. I think some of the women that call are, when he asks them questions, I think he finds out that they're actually dysfunctional, but I don't think the show is about the celebration of dysfunction. I don't think that's what goes on his show. But skipping past that, were you saying that he that it's a potential chance that he may flip the script and then start just doing some Derek Jackson pandering after, because he's going to catch so much heat from the sisterhood or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, you have analytics on your show, right? You can look at your analytics. I mean, on YouTube, most of the money comes from ad dollars, like in between ads. And if you look at the demographic that he's getting, those are hyper consumers. So a lot of, you know, he probably generates a lot of ad revenues for certain sources that target those type of women. And the thing about that is like, do you really keep offending the people that are putting food on your table? I mean, it's not him like selling out or anything like that. It's just real, like, it's just reality, you know, because he hasn't really been attacked by the queens yet. You remember the Foxhole queens? They usually attack, and then you got, you know, the Breakfast Club, you know, Charlemagne, you know, they do a lot of pandering and stuff like that. Is he going to be able to stay afloat when those people start attacking him? Because they're coming, and you know, you got the whole LGBT.
Well, see, here's the thing. Women women tune into his show. Women drive up those ratings. Now, if he was doing a show that was that popular and he was attacking women, but only men were there consuming it, then it could be a potential problem. But YouTube would be in a dilemma if they say that, oh, we gotta cater to women because women are the ones that buy the most junk, so they're the people that we gotta advertise to. And if men were the only customers there, and women were on the outside looking in, say, hey, you need to get this off of your platform, or we're going to be off your platform, then they will have a leg to stand on. But seeing as women are there, then it's another group of women saying, hey, we don't like this, but another group of women are voting with their feet, showing that they like it. I don't think he will run it. I don't think he'll be likely to have that problem. I think it will end up being a situation where, as long as the women are there, as long as the women like it, that goes back to what I said about the secret sauce. The dangling of the carrot of the high value man is what brings them in. In that portion of it, they are getting the Steve Harvey, Derek Jackson treatment to some degree, because he's talking about what a high value man is, and they apparently want that. So they coming back to try to get the game on how to get a high value man. But once the calls start, they go through a rundown list of talking and find out, and he basically explained to him why you don't qualify for one, give them a proper appraisal and show them what they do qualify for. And if they're willing to get that and accept that, then they got a chance out there. Otherwise, there's a probability that they'll die alone if they don't make an adjustment, if they don't auto-correct the perception that they have of themselves. Then so I don't look at that as, I see some women seeing that as a major problem, but the fact of the matter is they keep coming back because they enjoy it, because they like it, because they like what he's selling, and they know they're being told the truth, and he figured out the secret code on how to lure them in, how to get them there, how to talk about what it is that they want and what it takes to get what they want, but then also have an honest conversation with them about why they're not getting it and why they're probably not going to get it unless they do A, B, C, and D. And a lot of them aren't willing to do A, B, C, and D. Then it comes down to, okay, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to die alone? You want to stay doing what you're doing? Or are you going to try to find, in that sense, it's a good show that has a good rhyme and reason to it. So no, I don't think it will,
it's a great show.
Like that. I don't think it will go down.
Great show.
The way that you're saying.
Content is unique. I'm sorry. I think his content is unique and it's great, but even Howard Stern had to do a little bit of pivoting. I'm not, implying that he's selling out.
After he made
of how
I think he had to do some pivoting after he made 20 million. Okay. I mean, that's kind of when it's okay to pivot. And I don't even remember Howard Stern doing any major pivoting. He probably just had to be not as graunchy for advertisers. I don't remember Howard Stern doing any major pivoting. I don't know about that. Silent, go ahead, man. You got it.
He's brilliant with this portion of it, because it reminds me of I don't know if I read it in The Art of War, but you guys familiar with Joseph Stalin and the carrot of the stick principle. If you guys ever heard of that little term, right?
Yeah.
So basically what Stalin did, because he was warring with the Soviets or whatever. So basically they were on full offense, like the manosphere was, right? So what Stalin decided to do was basically said, hey, don't beat them with a stick, bring them over, right? So that's essentially what he's doing. Bring them over with the offer of a better deal. That was the thing, right? That was the carrot, right? So that's essentially what he's doing, right? It's appearance of the safe space, and then you get the real deal. But I did find odd that one of the female responses was from the great femininity hustler, and she was not kind at all to Mr. Samuels whatsoever. And
bro, almost felt for a second she was almost dirty macking, but that's a whole nother thing.
Like I say, just hate to say I told you so, but it's I mean, hey, I'm loving it, man. Again, so I didn't have much to add. I was just kind of sitting back and listening. So
right.
I did have that little because you brought something up. I did want to mention that sticking carrot, brilliance.
Yeah. Rocco,
got niggas in here putting Joseph Stalin and shit, man.
Yeah. Rocco Killer 7. He says, on my Facebook, I seen people post responses to that video, and he triggered all the SJWs. They called him a fraud and everything. I mean, he getting called everything under the sun. That much is obviously true. They coming at him. They coming for him. Go ahead, Jay Rich. You got it. Jay Rich, you on mute. You came off mute and went back on mute, and now you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, if you gotta try to get rid of the nails. Try to get rid of the nails on the chalkboard.
Okay.
You got background noise. You at a restaurant?
All right, how about now?
All right, yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah, anyway, man, like I'm kind of glad they're coming at him, because I just can't wait to see what kind of content that it will inspire from him, man. I really can't. And plus, on top of that, like, he forced the girl to be honest mentally. Like, when she said that she was a 5 on that show, that was her being genuinely honest. And that just goes to show, we're not living in a time where, the truth shall set you free. we're living in a time where the truth shall have you shackled. That's what they're trying to do to Kevin, because one, he's shortening, like Keith said, and I love the point that Keith made early on this. He's shortening the supply of their, backup plans, beta providers, and shit like that, by the millisecond, and they hate that. They hate that shit. But what's interesting about it is these are not their first choices in men. These niggas are really these are doormats for these women. But yet you're mad that somebody you don't really physically desire.
You're saying high value men are not their first choices?
No, not high value men. I'm saying like the guys that Kevin is like waking up, the backup type dudes, that little pool, the pool of like the stepdaddy is draining. Like Keith said earlier, they're really mad about the fact that dudes that they don't even want are walking away vigilantly.
Hey, and with that World Star, guess what's about to happen with World Star?
Yep.
Pookie's about to become Red Pill. Uh-oh.
Oh, goddamn, bro.
Hey,
and Keith, I got some of my hood niggas hit me up asking me about dude too, like asking me to tag him in his videos and shit like that and whatnot, because I seen it on Instagram clip on the comedian, Rito Brown. He posted that shit, and he even said that he was about to look him up and start following him, bro.
Bro, I got some cats and looking at conversations of cats that would never be talking about this shit. They own it, bro. It's over.
It's beautiful, bro. This shit is funny, man. This is hilarious. Like, how long did you think that sugar and spice and everything like this bullshit was really gonna hold up? Like, how long did you think you could get away with doing whatever until it finally came back to bite you in the ass, man? And that's the thing,
bro. Once Pookie goes Red Pill, bro, that's gonna be fucking savage,
bro. And that's just it, man. Like when we were raised. Oh, my bad, Bernard. My bad.
Yeah, Rob Mash Nation. He says, I don't really care about high value at this point. Love Kevin, but relying on high value arguments. I don't even know what you mean by relying on high value arguments. Minimalism changed the way I saw that argument. No, I think that every man at some point in his life should be a minimalist. I mean, you can get to a point where you don't have to be, but you definitely, there should be a moment in your life where you should be working a lot of hours and spending as little money as possible, trying to keep your overhead as low as you can. Shout out to the Golden 11, keep your overhead low and your savings high. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, the high value stuff, I mean, that comes later. I mean, I don't really care. I don't know what you mean by, relying on high value arguments. I've never, ever since people start talking about it, I never cared about the title. I just cared about whether or not I was getting up each day to work hard and grind and do everything I possibly could.
These bitches go into a relationship trying to be Barry Gordy when really they're a Supreme.
What? That was very random.
I said these bitches go into a relationship nowadays thinking they're Barry Gordy or trying to be a Barry Gordy when really they're a Supreme, bro. And that's
basically what Kevin told her.
Yeah,
like you walking around here like you're Rockefeller. Oh, my bad.
Like, bitch, you paid to hold the sign. Like, you don't matter.
All right, Mike Shinnery in the bill. I saw Pablo hop up here, and he must have dropped down. Hold on, where's Pablo? Okay, there go Pablo. Go ahead, Mike Shinnery, you got it.
What's up, Bernard, fellas?
What up, man? What up?
So, all right, all morning we've been talking about kings and queens, and since I came into this space, I've been hearing about men need to lead the charge. So, what Kevin Samuels has done is he has broken into the mainstream. Okay, now using World Star. If you pay the price, everybody can get on World Star. So if we get more fellas to get up there with the message that the manosphere is putting out, we can actually get that message out across, the nation, across the United States, whoever we're trying to reach out to get the culture to change. We want these women to change their behavior. We need to get the message out to all of them. So it would behoove the manosphere to also go the route of getting into that mainstream. YouTube is not letting us do it.
Real quick timeout. You said pay the price to be on World Star.
Yes, you can pay to get your videos on World Star.
Okay, see, I was under because sometimes World Star they just put random videos that they thought would be cool or entertaining to their audience, but some of the people that get on there go like, we don't know if Kevin paid or not, or if they just thought that was a hella entertaining video. Because I don't.
I don't
I
know
don't.
about Kevin. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like my son is putting together his music video catalog so that we're gonna get him up there. But yeah, you can pay to get on World Star. So if the manosphere, if we get our stuff up there and we get more people talking about what's going on in the culture, that'll start an actual chain reaction of change. Just like Kevin right now is one man talking about this topic that's gone truly mainstream. Yeah, YouTube, yeah, we got a little bump here on YouTube, but seeing as how these women are out here getting 100,000 followers or whatever, the Sinjis and the Nicole Michelle and all that, they got this bump. But just here on YouTube, we've seen that even those women are starting to change their rhetoric. I watched Nicole Michelle the other day and seeing that, she was going at the women and going at the men, but she's changed up her rhetoric. So if we can take this message, Kevin Samuels has started that little movement. But if he's just one man, like you guys said, the Kwans are gonna come out and get him. All right, they're gonna swallow up what Kevin Samuels is saying, and they will pay to get that message, erased or removed. Unless if they're talking now, there's 20 guys on World Star that are talking about what's going on in the culture, we can actually get, some change, some movement going on, if that's what the manosphere wants.
Right. Yeah. No. Definitely. Me and Obsidian actually we had some talks on the air about it, but we have done some talking behind the scenes about strategically placed ads. When you're just watching YouTube, you see Boyce Watkins ads show up. At least when I click on a video, every now and then a Boyce Watkins ad will pop up. So that is something that we definitely do need to start doing. I don't know if that's what Kevin Samuels did. I think that was just a clip.
Yeah, his might be completely organic because the women jumped on, right?
No,
but what I'm saying is,
I don't think it was because the women jumped on. It was because whoever sent it to World Star, it was like, oh shit, that was some pretty
right.
hard hitting, stinging stuff right there. So I don't think that was just because women. I don't think women didn't make him go viral with the World Star thing. Him making a show that was bare minimum pleasing to the eye, and at least halfway pleasing to the ear of women. That helped to get that put them in a different algorithm. But still, I think based off just my eyes, when I look at this chat room, I still see more than 50% men, and mostly men are the ones super chatting it. But I mean,
right, and that's why
men are there. So there's that.
True that. We need to get that message out there. As we see, it has caused a ripple effect in mainstream. Right. Once this message that the manosphere is putting out, one person has started that ripple. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, now where's the storm behind it? We got to keep that going.
Yeah, keep your content solid now, man. You got to play the game because now everybody's watching. So this is a time if we're on point, man, we can really, get this message out to brothers. And I mean, we can really change the game with this, man. The right eyes are on us. And then it's up to us to capitalize on how the space is viewed, what we're talking about. But we still gonna keep it 100 for sure.
Right.
But
right. Yeah, that's an important thing too. The women come out.
But we have to cut down on the niggathons,
Yeah, women come out, and some dudes liable to change their tune and whatnot. But that's a whole nother story. But Pablo, you got it, man. What's going on?
What's going on, Bernard? How you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Fresh
to the panel. Man, Lamont was right about Nicole Michelle.
Man, come on. I still be low key, defending her a little bit. I mean, yeah, but yeah,
I was sold. I'm not gonna lie. I was sold that she was, behaving in her feminine energy, and I was supportive and all that stuff, man.
Hold on, real quick. Let me get a quick timeout. I never, even though I felt like she was saying the right things, whenever she was getting back and forth conversations, I never felt like she was super feminine. Like you could hear a lot of that coming out of her voice. I've always said that. I've never been just wowed by her femininity. I more so felt like she was saying the right things. I think she made her first misstep by taking on that get the bag talk. That, you know, even though she said she defined it differently as secure the bag versus get the bag. Get the bag is finessing the nigga. Securing the bag is about, you know, she
Long
described
term.
it, long term, being a good wife and mother and all of that stuff. And so
But
okay, gave her a pass on that. But then she started calling dudes, you know, dusty, and I'm like, even though she was doing that to make distinctions, I'm like, you don't want to be talking about, you know, you're a femininity influencer and you know, kind of on the side of men, but you're using some Cynthia G rhetoric at all. So I was like, that's another misstep. And then, I saw at least part of her recent
her
video
live,
responding.
her
Her live responding to Kevin Samuels. Saw part of it, and I wasn't exactly
her
impressed.
live,
I mean, I
her
didn't think
live,
it
her
was just.
live on Monday night. Her live on
Yeah,
Monday night. That's what you're talking about, because that's what I
I
saw.
believe we talking about the same one.
Her live on Monday night, she went in on Travel Bros. She
Oh,
went in on Kevin. She went
She
on
was
the
attacking the man's
manosphere.
sexuality, all kind of stuff, man.
oh shit! I didn't even see all that.
I mean, you know, hey,
Hold on, wait,
I just hate
Pablo.
being wrong.
Wait,
I
hold
was
on.
listening like, wow.
Yeah, she is
Pablo.
going in.
She
Pablo,
had a psychological, emotional breakdown live on the air.
is that still up?
No,
Nah,
she
she
took
put it
it
on
down. She didn't
Patreon.
post it.
All right, give
But
me some examples of what she said, because I was side eyeing the subtleties when she was
it
talking
was
about the Kevin Samuels things. I
Bro,
didn't
they
know
was go.
no.
It's hard because it was like a
I
whole
didn't.
group just going at it, man. Like,
This
dang,
was a
you
live. This was
completely
a
flipped on
rant.
the dude, bro.
I didn't know she
This
went
was
full
a
gang.
live. This was a live rant, off the cuff rant for like 2 hours.
Bro,
Wow.
Yo, she was
like
trying
I said, man, all you have to do is wait. It's only a matter of time.
Damn.
A
She was trying to
psychological
school
break.
Kevin on how to run his business. And Kevin's been in this business way longer than she has. Talking about he should be patient with the women, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bitch, please, yo.
That was actually the part that I saw where she was talking about the importance of being patient, and if you're going to do this and if you're going to do that. I didn't see. I probably stopped watching before she just went full gangster with it,
Yeah,
because
she went full ham.
the part that I was seeing is when she was just speaking regular, like her normal self, and she was just giving a critique of Kevin Samuels, and I was kind of side eyeing it because I felt like she was kind of dirty macking because they kind of in the same business, and he's taking. If the women going over there to him, I felt like she was dirty macking, like y'all can't get it. Y'all can't get what I need from a man or something like that. I felt like, I was side eyeing it. I didn't know she went full gangster like that. I can't sit there and listen.
Yeah,
Of course you did. Listen,
The
Bernard.
funny thing about it is though, is that she went and took a break for a long while and bitch trying to school him. And I'm like, yo, bitch, you left. You got punked out. And you trying to school this man on how to do his business? Man, come on, man.
That was the weirdest part of it, because you're looking at somebody who right now is, like I said, Derek Jackson got more subs and followers and all of that. But because, you know, if somebody subbed to you 5 years ago, you can pick up a million followers on Facebook, you know, 5 years ago. That don't mean a million of them are still actively listening. So as far as active right now in the game, active, attentive audience that's actually listening, it's Kevin Samuels' biggest person in that game, that whole dating relationship game. He the biggest in the game right now. So it's a weird thing when you're criticizing somebody who've extended to those heights. I mean, that's
exactly.
And they y'all in the same business, and he's the best in the business, and y'all previously had a good relationship. So you know, that was a bad move. Kevin Samuels, hold on, real quick. Kevin Samuels keeping a good relationship with him. You know, it would be nothing for Kevin Samuels to send some people her way, give a shout out, you know, because there's some things that he can't teach them in terms of femininity. I mean, obviously, you know, he said that when he was talking to the girl that swirls. He said, "Hey, I can't teach women femininity, so you know, that's out of my jurisdiction." Him and Nicole Michelle had a good relationship, so I'm shocked that I didn't hear it. So let me just preface that I didn't hear her go full gangster. I heard her throw what I consider to be subtle jabs, pop shots, or just a small hint of dirty macking. But
Went further a little later in her show though.
Yeah, okay. I didn't see it, so I just
didn't
put
see
in
the
that
rest of that.
disclaimer. But for her, that's a bad business move. That's a bad business move. If you in the same business,
It
with
is. She already
Samuels,
tainted her
y'all
business already.
always had a
Hey,
great
Bernard.
relationship. But for you to, that was not cool. Go ahead. Who was that said my name?
Bernard.
Bernard, one thing real quick, Bernard.
Go ahead.
No,
Pablo.
me. Triple black.
I'm gonna be in Cartagena, Colombia, December 30th. If you'd like to do another live, I think that'd be great.
Okay, yeah, cool. We can do that. Just let me know. What date did you say?
December 30th to January 5th.
Cool. Yep. Just keep me updated on it because I'm gonna forget. But just
right.
be emailed when you get closer to the date. And I got you. Fatal Dose. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up?
What's good?
Good times. No, I wanted to piggyback on what Silent Lamont said earlier because I don't think brother's really understanding what's happening here, right? Because he said that we should form Voltron, and that's exactly what I was thinking when he, before he said that. So, the big thing here is that the whole manosphere got to get in lockstep behind Kevin right now. Like, put away all the petty differences and
I agree.
I got beef with this person. Like, all of that got to go away right now, and we have to be one united front. Because if we screw this up, we're not going to get this opportunity again. This is a major opportunity for us. So, brothers got to think about putting aside.
You can see the women's squad up. They squad up quick.
Yeah, hell yeah. So we got to do the same thing, man. We got to grow up and be men and learn to put away our petty differences because every other group on this planet could do it. The Chinese man could put away his differences to work together. The white man, the Indian man, whoever they are, they could put their differences. So we need to put our differences aside right now and be in lockstep with Kevin. Because if we screw this up, then that's it. We're going to be dusty coons forever.
Hey, can I add something to what he just said?
Yeah, go ahead. But then I got to go to I can't even tell who that is out there.
Yeah, no, it's quick. We have, as the men with the message that we have coming out of the manosphere, we have the most people against our message because we have even black men against the message of the manosphere.
That's true.
Okay, so they are squatted up for real. Okay, so we need to get this message out, and it's got to be more than just one guy saying it, and it's got to be, we got to go big. And I'll leave it at that.
Right on. Yeah, I think a lot of people are saying it, but rather not it's being said on that scale. I think that's what you're talking about. So yeah, and like I said, me and Obsidian have talked about the power of paying for advertisements. He already dabbled and experimented with it on Facebook, but you could do the same thing on YouTube. So that's something that we got to look into. I've been looking into that. I will be doing that in the future, but if I do it, I gotta do it right if I'm going to make some actual ads. So that's.
And I just want to raise my hand when you're ready. I wanted to respond.
I got you next. The brother down here haven't said nothing. I can't even tell his name. But yeah, you got next, Silent. Okay, and I can't even pronounce that shit. But go ahead, brother. You got it.
Hey! Peace to the chat. My name is Brother Sham. Sham Allah. I'm the brother Kwadash Kaya. I'm one of your mods.
Oh, okay, cool. What's up? Salute to you, man.
Hey, salute. All right. It's like I have a few points to go into. Well, first, when we talk about the Nicole Michelle thing, I saw some of her thing Monday. I was like, like dipping in, dipping out. Like, so like 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there. Dude, I bullshit you not. The way how she was acting and carrying on, she looked like she was carrying on like someone that was bipolar or had BPD and there was off their meds and it happened in an episode. I bullshit you not. Neck waving, finger wagging, neck waving, the whole nine. She was off the rails. Took jabs at Kevin, calling him a fraud. I think she took jabs at this, you know, the whole thing that he might be gay. Oh, you know, came with the whole why you ladies listen to him? Y'all go on this platform, this, that, and the third. And she took
Yeah, he's
jabs at
divorced. He
I wouldn't
divorced
lie
all
to
of
you,
no,
B.
he threw the whole. She threw all of it. She threw it all up against the wall. All of it.
I was like, damn, I thought Kevin was your homie.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. And she even took jabs at brothers that might have been working, I guess, like maybe like you know, low, working class jobs, because she was like, oh, you got you dusties that making 30K an hour working at a call center. I don't know if it was a specific person or brothers in general, but yo,
Did she say 30K? Did she say $30 an hour or 30K a year?
No, 30K a year. You know,
Okay,
working at a call center.
I was about to say, if she was criticizing $30 an hour, that's 60K a year, 80 with some overtime. Like, I'm like, you criticizing that? But anyway,
Well, yeah, because you ain't shit. You still making under 100, so yeah, you ain't shit.
Right.
Yeah. And listen, she completely went off. Again, she was carrying on like someone that was bipolar that was having an episode. Completely unprofessional. And the fucked up part about it is that like me, I watch Kevin's show nightly. I listen to his show at work. At least for the past 2 weeks, he picked up at least maybe like 3 times or more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, like imagine how he was just bigging her up last week, and come Monday, she was throwing him under the bus, man. It was really unprofessional.
Rosemary said, she picked up her inner ratchet. I got you silent. I had silent next. I don't know who invented that. Said the inner. I think that was Grinch Crazy. I said inner hoochie movement or something like that. The inner beauty movement. He said inner hoochie movement. But anyway. Yeah, that was some funny stuff. That's what she is now. She's inner hoochie movement. Inner hoochie movement. But anyway, good.
Wait, hold on.
No, I gotta go to silent because. But let me read this super chat real quick. Good men in the building. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. Let me make sure. Yeah, I thought you was a mod. Okay. She was acting unhinged, talking about how she was a conservative and people weren't trash the manosphere. And Kevin, you had to see it. Like, they all give them enough time. They all end up having an episode. All of them. I don't know one who haven't had an episode yet. I can't think.
I swear, watching her was like watching Bizarro and Superman. If you was to put Nicole Michelle next to Rebecca Lynn Pope, it would be like watching Bizarro and Superman. And she went totally Bizarro on that damn show.
Man, go ahead, Silent. You got it, man.
I wanted to respond when you were saying that Kevin and Nicole have the same business. They did have the same business until that video, because who are her clients? Her clients are those same walled out women, right? Trying to create alchemy to finesse a dude with money. And Kevin just destroyed that. I mean, that woman on Kevin's show represents her clients. 35-year-old women, maybe got a kid or two, trying to recreate their image to snag the bag. What do you think the bag is? Get you a dude with some money. And Kevin just said, y'all ain't getting it. Sorry. So that steps directly on the toes of her teaching her women to try to hustle these dudes. You understand?
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I didn't think that was her game to teach women how to hustle these dudes, because she was telling them, yeah, you need to lose weight, you need to do this, you need to do that, you got to drop the attitude, you got to, I don't know, sit with your ankles crossed or learn how to set a table properly. She was saying all that nonsense, but I mean, I didn't think she was just in full.
That was just the low y'all in.
Yeah. I didn't look at her as being somebody who was in the full finesse game. She wasn't a full blown She-Ra 7 who was just She-Ra 7 tell them to get pregnant on purpose.
But I explained that when I was explaining it. See, again, because we are so used to being bashed in the face from the front. You understand? See, this is where all the manipulations came in, right? All the Valley Girl, just like when, you notice on Kevin's show, they all start off with the Valley Girl voice.
Yeah.
Right? They
By the
want
end
to
of
go
the
through their little
conversation, they pat and they weave by the end of the
right.
conversation. Yeah.
All right. It's all there. When I hear that voice, you already telling me you're a fraud because I know that's not your voice. I'm sorry. I know that's not your voice. You don't sound like a 80s California Valley girl living in Memphis. I'm sorry. You don't sound like that. So you already telling me you're hustling. I mean,
Yeah. Mr. Shane Vicious says Nicole might need to up her dosage of pink pills. This is my prediction, Keith, since you like to make predictions. At some point, she's going to tell her audience, she's going to pull an April Mason and start talking that, find love wherever you find love. If it's with a white man, go ahead.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. She going to cross over to that because if she's already went full blown and talked all that junk about Kevin Samuels, all the junk about allegedly. I didn't hear it, but according to y'all, she talked a lot of junk about the manosphere. Eventually, these niggas all dusty. That's where it's possible. I don't know. I'm just making a prediction. It's possible she may go full gangster down that road, and these dudes is dusty and this or that or blah blah blah, and that's where that's when they start going pink pill with it. So just a little small prediction that she might dabble into telling her audience, to pink pill it up a little bit. But
I ain't gonna fight you on that one, brother.
Speaking of her calling people dusty, Nicole Michelle, Coach Ali, y'all know Coach Ali. I've done 2 1-on-1s with him. That brother has a wealth of knowledge. Highly recommend you check out his channel. Nicole Michelle called me dusty for having a non-state sanctioned marriage, even though my wife doesn't work. Yeah, you the exact brother type of brother they want, but nah, you're still dusty. You're still a nigga in a suit.
Yeah, I forgot. She went into that too. Was doing brothers that didn't have a state sanctioned marriage under the bus. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, because they can't rob you with that. I mean, it doesn't matter that you're doing the right things. It's all set up to rob you. I mean, by any all that's happening, man, is I love how because women are wordsmiths, all they've done is just taken everything they've said before, and it's like they went into a little chemistry room and just found words to say the same thing, but it not say the same. So instead of get remember the songs, run that nigga pockets and all that shit, women be repeating, that turns into hey, secure the bag. You understand? Because this sounds better than get that nigga pockets, But then the women see them again. She's talking to both men and women simultaneously. Just like Kevin is smart in the way that he sets up questions, they do that. It's called duplicity, being duplicitous. So they're saying,
"Hold, silent. Who in the hell is playing White Christmas?
Uh-oh.
Who is that?
Okay, I'm in a McDonald's right now. That's what you're hearing there, man.
Who? I can't even tell who talking. Who is that? Say your name. Whoever that was. I can't tell who talking.
This is Mr. Meeks. I'm in a McDonald's right now.
All right. I was just about to pass the mic to you. You ain't ready? You in there just singing Christmas carols?
Give me 60 seconds to get away from me.
Hey, Bernard, real quick. While he's
Bernard,
let me ask a question real quick.
Kill my flow again.
Go ahead, Bernard. I went to college in North Carolina where that girl is living. Let me say this about where she stands in North Carolina. I went to North Carolina Central University, an HBCU. There are 7 HBCUs in North Carolina. That means that the youngest, most beautiful Black women are all in one state at a time. There are 7 HBCUs in North Carolina, and North Carolina is not the North Carolina of toothless farmers anymore. It is biotechnology, it is biomedical research, IT, banking in Charlotte. It is furniture manufacturing in Greensboro and Winston-Salem. Her competition is just as stiff as if she was in Atlanta or Houston in North Carolina. If she went to college where I went and she walked across the campus, she would be ignored. Her physical beauty doesn't even rank in that state. She is below average there. That's something that a lot of people don't know. North Carolina has some of the most beautiful women that you can think of, and they're all in that college age range. And I ain't even counting the black girls that go to PWIs like UNC, NC State, Duke, East Carolina, UNC Greensboro, UNC Charlotte. She is out. She
Yeah,
is out. She's not even in the competition.
yeah. I don't want to dig into the woman's personal stuff because I mean, look, I ain't against her. I ain't out to get her. I mean, it is what it is. But far as damn, I'm trying to mute you up, Meech. Hit. There you go. Yeah, as far as I know, she was last I heard her say sometime 6 months ago she was engaged or something like that. So I don't. As far as her personal prospects out there on the dating market, who the hell knows? And I kind of feel like who the hell cares? I care more about the words that are coming out of her mouth. And if she said all that y'all said, she said that's pretty damn crazy. But
Unless
yeah.
we just all liars, bro.
No, I saw the beginning. I saw the beginning so I can see how it could have been winding up to that. I see how it could have been slowly, in a slow grind kind of way, working its way to where y'all said it went. So no, I believe ya. I believe ya. But yeah.
Hey Bernard, let me pose a question.
Go ahead.
Because there's a lot of content creators on here, and regardless of how you're feeling, and I'm just going to pose this question. Somebody called the 48 Laws of Power, the F boy or the F what's the name Bible, right?
I'll go ahead and name Zero called it the fuck nigga Bible. Okay, go ahead. Or the nigga Bible. I forgot. Okay, anyway, carry on.
Right. But reality is, with the manosphere, and Kevin, by default right now is almost like the face of the manosphere, like it or not.
I mean, yeah, no,
yeah, and one of the things that they say in there, you just don't want to isolate yourself, and for the collective, you think would it be smart for him to kind of stick to his gun? What do you guys think that as like
you gotta define
you're gonna need allies.
You gotta define what you mean by stick to his gun.
Because a lot of those, like that lady you guys were talking about, they seem to have some type of allegiance, but now it's like for instance, like the Nika Maries and like those type of women. Do you think those are going to be important, I guess, to move the manosphere forward? Because we're going to need women in this space, and all the vultures are coming after them right now. What do you think about that? What do you think about creating alliances to move this content forward?
Kevin don't need alliances, but I can see. I mean, it seems like the only thing you keep talking about the darts, arrows, daggers and spears coming his way. Yeah, I can see how having women that agree with him and say the same things that he's saying sort of helps. But at the end of the day, I also feel like I don't feel like it matters that much. I mean, those women get called pick-me's, and the men who say the same things that Kevin Samuel's saying, but they don't say it as refined or as well groomed as him. They just get called chauvinistic. So I mean, I don't think there's a tactical strategy to mitigate what's going to come towards him. Now, what I think will happen is people will actually watch his show and see what it's about. And when they see what it's about, they will see, sort of like what Obsidian showed yesterday, how he shows a great deal of patience with his cause, and he does try to help them, and he does tell them the truth. And then when they get a little weird about it, they might get back what they give. But he gives harsh truth no matter who he's talking to. I mean, the video that everybody clowned him about that was known as Eggplant Gate. aside from the asking another man about, y'all know what happened. Aside from that part right there, what was he doing in that video? He was grilling a man who had unrealistic dating standards because the guy was overweight and broke and was expecting to get choosing signals from women. And so Kevin Samuels basically just laid it out to him. You're fat. I don't know if he said ugly, but you're fat. You're broke. You make $1,000 a month. You this, you that. I mean, and so why would you expect? What do a woman even get? What's her incentive to give you choosing signals or even deal with you at all? So he was hitting.
He is the table.
He was hitting that guy with the same type of hard hitting truth, and it was funny. One of the women that who responded to Kevin Samuels' video of that one girl was like, "He's so toxic. He's so toxic. You can, you just throwing it out there. You can flag channels like that for bullying." But she also reviewed the video where he was doing the same thing to a man, and the only thing she wanted to do is crack jokes on the asking the guy to do you at least got something to offer sexually to a woman. That's how he should have worded it. But the only thing she noticed is that she didn't notice that he was hitting the guy with the same hard hitting truth about where he ranked. So I mean, he's going to do that. He's going to talk about practical stuff that people need to do to get what they want. But if they're not there, but they're expecting something that don't balance out, he's not going to tell them what they want to hear. He's going to hit them with the truth. So no, I don't think he needs to. I don't know if you. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Well, that depends on the goal.
But go ahead, Triple Black. Go ahead. I think Triple Black was trying to follow up.
No. It's what I'm saying is like like I said, I was referencing that, but with the book, whatever. But because to get some type of power, there's a lot of things that you have to do. It might not be, I guess, like in in your playbook in the beginning, but you definitely have to pivot sometimes, because there's going to be things, because there's going to be
why are you trying to negotiate? Why are you trying to negotiate Kevin Samuels' surrender already?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I was just asking you as a content creator what your opinions on there. You gave me your opinion. All right, I'll just leave it at that.
I think you should do exactly.
I'm not trying to negotiate it.
Bernard?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Bernard? Yeah.
Who's trying to jump in? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's me, Mel. Yeah. I wanted to answer Triple Black's thing because I know he probably thinking that Kevin's going to change up his whole style once he becomes bigger, like a lot of celebrities know that. And Kevin answered that on that show, The 7, that he be on with Donovan Sharp every Sundays. And someone else asked that same question. Kevin's paraphrasing what Kevin says, that we shouldn't have to be afraid to be who we are and not worry about people selling us out and everything. It's like a new time. We should have a voice now, and it's time. Like, what I'm saying? Technically, he's telling I can still do my show the way I am without any fears and have people worry and do it how I want to do it without selling out and everything. And this coming from the man's mouth himself. So you know what I'm saying? So you ain't gotta worry about all that. Kevin selling out and everything. I mean, let's see it for yourself and everything. If you feel like he has, then that's it. But other than that, most likely the man said himself, he's not selling himself out like that. He's still gonna do what he does and everything, and it needs to be done. And it's time. And stuff like that. It is time.
Well, I have a question.
Real quick. I got a question.
But let's be realistic about this.
Real quick, time out. I got to get an important question out there. Are you telling me Kevin Samuels was he on the 7?
Yeah.
After okay, when did the thing go viral on World Star?
That show was when he was in, I think it was in LA or Miami. That was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
It was about 2 weeks ago.
No, I want to know, when did it go viral? I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, he hasn't. Holy shit! Give me a second. Let me ask my question. What I'm trying to figure out, because as of right now, as far as I know, he has not publicly spoken since that video went viral.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out the timeline. Did that video go viral? Then he did the 7 and addressed it, and is that still up?
No, it went viral, and then he had addressed it because that's when everybody was doing videos that Sunday about it. When it was on World Star. And
Okay.
that's when he was in Miami at the time. You know, he was on the same studio show with Myron Gaines. And stuff. So yeah, so after that video went viral and everything, everybody was talking about it. So he started to he actually addressed it.
Yeah, see, I never knew he addressed it, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
I gotta look that up when we get off
When
of
he's
here.
on, I hope the show is still up on because I think
Oh,
Diamond
the
Shark
6,
sometimes he puts the show,
not the 7.
Yeah.
Or
Gotta go Diamond Shark channel. Yeah, it's still up on there. I think sometimes.
But Bernard, I have a question.
But the thing about it is
that question.
The thing about it is
so. My question is this: what is the goal of the manosphere at this point? Is it to change the culture of Black America and its mating and dating habits? Is that the goal?
I do believe. Okay, there's no one unified goal. Let's just put that out there and make that very clear. There is no one unified goal, and that's so there's that. There's no one unified goal. But amongst all the possible goals, I don't know if I like the way you worded it.
Okay, well,
in a way that's I don't even know the exact way to word it. I don't want to speak for the manosphere, but
Is it a return to traditional values? What
that I would like to see that. That's one thing I speak about. But then there's a sector of it that's like, the hell with that, it's too far gone. Just pump and dump and do what you got to do. Just use women for recreation and do what you got to do to make your money, to make sure you okay, to make sure you set every measure up in your life to where you're not going to fall victim to no BS. But if you're going to deal with women, just deal with them short term, punch and get out, and that's that. So I would like to see
that's the flaw. That's the flaw to me in the movement.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Even though people like Ramil or even Male Enlightenment TV, who he ain't with pumping and dumping, he on MGTOW monk mode. They do offer a lot, as far as Black men and business and getting your money right, investing and all of that. So they got something to offer, but I do disagree with them on that aspect of it, because
understand this. The Black women, by and large, are on a womanist, feminist movement. They are not just diasporic in their views and desires. It's plain.
Hey, can I offer some something on here?
Hey, can I
you got next. Go ahead and finish up, Pablo, and whoever that was talking can get next.
No, that's it. That's all I had. They are on message. There's no, well, we want this, but we also want that. No, they want feminist, womanist principles.
Yeah, my thing is, what we just need to do a better job at is not arguing about the little things we disagree with. Like, put it like this. Look at my one-on-one with Ramil. Now, me and Ramil, we do got a fundamental disagreement that we never discussed. But if you listen to my content and you see how I think patriarchal families is a good thing, and that's the way out of all the BS, he think the way out of it is just leaving women alone, just deal with them for recreation, because even if you try to do anything patriarchal, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass, and you're going to be in the same shit either way. So we was able to have a 4-hour discussion, at least a 2-hour one-on-one and a 4-hour panel. We didn't have to go back and forth about our disagreements, because everything we agreed on, we talked about that. So people can have different views, and it don't got to be World War III about it, So that's where we need to get to. It'll always be some disagreement. Some people gonna be MGTOW, some people gonna be SYSBM, some people gonna want to actually see a Black community do better, and one way to get it to do better is
what I'm saying is
fathers and all of that. So it's gonna be a jumbled up mixed message from MGTOW, SYSBM, IPMOR, people who think more along the lines like I think, or how Obsidian think, or then how Angry Man think. It's going to be a mixed bag, but there is enough commonality where we all can find common ground. Like right now, a lot of people are finding common ground with Kevin Samuels right now, even though they've disagreed with him on a lot. Ramil is the best. Ramil's the best example of that. People say flat out, all that marriage shit that Kevin Samuels be talking, that is stupid. But everything else that Kevin Samuels is talking about, he rock with it. And that's where they come together. They can come together and do shows together. They was doing the Lions Den together. And he don't got to pull out swords and daggers and throw them at Kevin Samuels because they disagree about marriage. It's enough that they disagree. That's enough that they do agree on. Hell, a lot of the brothers that's on the 6 or the 7 or whatever Donovan show it was called, where you bring the six or so guys, because somebody got to mute up, please. Whatever that show is called, there's plenty of people that be on there that got a strong disagreement with Kevin Samuels about marriage. They don't sit there and argue and yell about that shit. They agree about enough. And then if Kevin got to explain his position, he explain his position. Everybody mute up, please. Because I can't figure out who it is that got the background noise. It's probably me. Nope, not you. Here it is. There we go. All right. Gotta do better at not having background noise, fellas. But yeah, I'm sure they disagree. And if Kevin got to explain his position on marriage there, he explain it. And they can agree or disagree and then just keep the shit moving. I mean, but we get bogged down arguing about a lot of stuff that's unnecessary to be arguing about. Like, I mean, so that's where I'm at with it.
Hey, Bernard, let me jump in here, right? So to that point and what Pablo was saying earlier as to what the goal is, well, I'm going to give an analogy, right? This is like World War II, and the manosphere is the U.S. and the Axis powers are the black females. And what we've done is we're at Iwo Jima, and we've taken the hill now. We've taken the hill, but the battle is just getting started because we got millions of them coming after us, just like the Japanese kept coming after the American soldiers in World War II, right? And they had to hold that hill. So our only goal right now shouldn't be on what the peace treaty looks like. Is hold that hill, and let's move forward slowly, right? Let's not try to run forward, because some of us might trip and fall and derail the whole war because we've lost soldiers along the way. So I think the main goal right now should be let's have a unified front. Let's all support the brother, and by supporting the brother, everyone's going to benefit from that too. So
but I guess
we're not just
my larger point is the other side, though, is not diasporate in their ideology. They are so in lockstep with their ideology that even some of the women don't believe they're feminists when you call them a feminist, even though they espouse every feminist ideal and talking point when they get on and speak.
Yeah.
So you're fighting against that kind of a programming, whereas men aren't as susceptible to that as women.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the dichotomy of what you're having to fight against. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand that. So here's the thing about it, right? So we need a tipping point. We need enough men to be red pill for there to be a tipping point where brothers are either walking away or saying, I'm not dealing with you, or you need to change. We need enough men to be pushing out the message, and this is the chance to get the message out. Remember, the U.S. didn't care who in Germany didn't believe in Nazism or who did. They just went and invaded and attacked and forced them to the table. So this is the same military tactic we got to take, where we have a military mindset to the point where we're going to defeat them and bring them to the table. Then we worry about who said what or who believes in what. And at that point, it shouldn't matter, because then they have to negotiate and get rid of these beliefs and whatever BS is in their head.
Yeah.
All right,
No, I agree. I agree.
Hey, Bernard, let me jump in real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I
go ahead?
Wait, now from my stance of
I just want to let you know I'm in line, fellas.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, from my stance on what will happen to Kevin from here is, like, for me, like, I personally believe, even with like the potential pushback from the strike, like, Kevin's already gotten the support from black men, from a lot of black women, and the fact that he's gone mainstream to the point where he has a lot of non-black viewers. You know, so it's like once you break that threshold, and now you have non-black women calling in, asking for your advice and stuff like that, it's like borderline, like, impossible for the strike to stop you. You understand what I'm saying? So, because now you have a whole demographic wanting your advice. A whole demographic wanting your services and goods. So now it's like, if Kevin, honestly speaking, if Kevin wants, you don't have even, cater to just black people anymore. You understand what I'm saying? But the main point I'm saying is this: like from here forward, it's just Kevin basically and brothers too have to just pretty much keep the course, stay the course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that women are calling in asking for help, they already know that brothers are walking away. They already know that. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to, they're trying to find a way where, what can I do to get a man so I won't die alone? You understand what I'm saying? Like all the callers in their 30s, 40s. Kevin even had a couple of 50-year-old women calling in asking for help. Like, listen, like we're there, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Don't be short-sighted. You know what I'm saying? Like we're there. We're almost there. You know what I'm saying? The battle's halfway won. We just got to keep pressing forward. Don't change your message. Don't water it down. Just keep pressing forward. Whatever comes is going to come, but just keep the course.
All right, right on. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, go ahead. Silent had next. Go ahead.
All right. Let me go find this comment. Hold on. It was like a half hour ago, so I've been waiting. Hold on. Let me go find it.
Can you hear me?
I was trying to get it before it disappears. There we go. All right. I wanted to respond to a comment. Our great friend, the Goldie Jones channel. So the Goldie writes, I think that's the problem most women had. That lady was discounted, not because she wasn't a great woman, but because she wasn't attractive enough. No one looked at her heart. And that's what I have a problem with, because that was just a lie. Okay. So I know she's a friend of the channel, but you cannot have watched the same thing we watched and then made that comment, because she wasn't discounted. She had offers. In fact, the offer she had belonged in the 80% of men or 85% of men. So the men that she's receiving offers from are from the mass majority of men that she's too good for. They weren't rejecting her. She's getting the guys that are naturally on her level. Again, like Kevin told her, the world is telling you where you fit. Okay, you don't even know. Not that you know rich guys, and then you're finding you don't even know these guys, which means that they are making themselves deliberately unavailable to her. Okay, so like he said, your life is mirroring what I'm telling you. So it's not just Kevin's opinion, it's the world's opinion, right? So when she's saying no one looked at her heart, well, she's only described the man she wants pocketbook. Okay, seriously, she
came up the gate shallow, but they're criticizing Kevin Samuels for being shallow. Go ahead.
So here's what smart people would understand, because you see the comments and, well, if she makes $100,000, then what's wrong with her asking for it? Well, first of all, no one said she was wrong for asking for it. You can ask for whatever you want. We're just telling you you're unlikely to get it. Second of all, the answer to that question is, if you were smart, since you're the most educated, you would understand that $50,000 or $60,000 guy means that now you have a household income of $150,000 or $160,000, which now puts your household in the top % of households. And guess what you can do with a household income of $150,000 or $160,000? A whole lot. But again, too short-sighted, because again, she's thinking about spending his money. This wasn't about, again, building anything. The money is not about families. It's simply so she can be a basketball wife. That's it. That's the whole purpose of him out. Because when he asked her, what is the purpose that you need that specific dollar amount? Well, because I couldn't respect him. All right. All that means is I want to spend his money. I mean, it can't mean anything, because that's not even a rational response when you can have a household income of $150,000 or $160,000 a year.
Yeah, man, it's
right, exactly.
It's crazy, what I gotta say to what she said. I didn't see the comment. I don't even know who she is. Who comment you were talking about? But the whole thing about nobody looked at her heart. Okay, her heart could be wonderful, just like my heart could be wonderful. That does not mean that I qualify for a Victoria's Secret model just because my heart is so wonderful. So, I mean, yes, women need a dose of reality. Yes, you can have a wonderful heart. And she wasn't just that unattractive. I mean, average is not, if she's a 5 all did up, okay, that's average all did up. Yes, there's an average guy out there who would love her average looking self and her big, beautiful heart. So, I mean, that's what Kevin Samuels was telling her. So it wasn't that she was just everybody mute up. It wasn't that she was just discounted from the ability to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, or finding love someday. She wasn't just discounted from that. She was just discounted from trying to ball in a league that she can't make the cut for. Like, that's just reality.
Hey, Bernard.
Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta disagree with you. She was highly unattractive, bro. I don't know if we were looking at the same video.
Okay, this is what I said. When she just was still just making a straight face like this, just she wasn't that bad looking. But when she started talking and her mouth ball up and do that Sam Cassell thing, that's when she dropped. She dropped 3 when she started talking.
Bro, a fine woman look fine no matter what she's doing, man.
But Bernard, let's keep it 100. Men would choose her if she had a much better disposition and was more humble. She screwed up really when she came in arrogant. Well, when should I tell a man about my business? Get out of here. Ain't nobody. Come on, man. Really? You came in with that. Go ahead, bro. No, you got the thought. Go ahead. I'll get back in it. Go ahead.
What's funny about that is because she had a serious problem with men wanting to get in on or be a part of her business, or when should I tell them about my business? Because they just be wanting to be a business partner or this or that. She had a major problem with that. But when it came to Kevin,
she had a daycare. When she had a daycare, if you know, you know.
When it in a dog pet grooming business, which is a daycare for dogs, I don't know. But when it came to Kevin Samuels asking her, well, what does this high value man or this 6-figure man get from you? She was I could be his,
help him build his
business partner. I help him with his business. Like, that's the same shit you said that you didn't need. She can't wait to offer that.
If you grew up in the hood, you know what that's all about. Somebody funded that business and her head got big, and that's why she probably wants to upgrade to a corporate dude. If you know, like a daycare. That's
it's called reality TV, man.
Hold on, time out. Where you getting daycare from? She said pet grooming business.
Man, that could mean, again, that based on what she said, that could mean that she house sits people's cats. I don't know. I mean, people always gonna get on here and she probably don't even make $100,000 a year. I mean, we're just making all of these assumptions because she said it. A pet grooming business in North Carolina, she making $100K. All right.
When my audio
she didn't want to talk about
yesterday.
Her daddy.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, shout out to Game Changer, because they was talking about that on Obsidian. Game Changer pointed out just fine that she said some stuff back when she was young and dumb back at 16, because he was talking about her and her baby daddy. It sounded like she was implying that she had the baby at 16, but she's 35 now. That would mean the kid is 19 instead of 13. So it was all kind of lies being unearthed where you couldn't even make out what she was even talking about or trying to say. But either way it go, right before my audio dropped, yes, on the last time I was live, I was questioning whether or not she actually made 6 figures, because okay, you don't have to be that. This is the point I was trying to make before it cut off. You don't have to be that smart to have a pet grooming business, but in order to run any business, I don't care if you're grooming pets or selling staplers, if you can make $100,000 doing it, you do have some measure of intelligence. So I was listening to her talk, and you can't always judge somebody by how they sound, but she didn't sound like that intelligent of a person. So
she sounded slow.
Thank you. She sounded slow. Exactly. She didn't sound like somebody who was running a $100,000 business. I'm sorry. You shouldn't judge, but it is what it is. Yeah. I question whether or not somebody who talk like, well, I just you don't sound intelligent enough to run a $100,000 business. I'm sorry, but maybe she do, maybe she don't. You never know. but I wouldn't necessarily even buy in that part of it. Just me.
And also, hold on, real quick. Let me finish this real quick.
She sounds
also,
like Freddie.
What's funny is the pictures of her lower body came around on the internet.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's and she looks like that green monster from the fucking Monsters movie.
I was about to get off the air. Somebody put that link in the chat.
Oh man,
I'm gonna have to find it. I saw it pop up on Facebook, and because it was like, this is the woman that was talking about how her body was on fire. This chick looks weird as shit.
She's a stick with boobs. That's it.
And I said what I said about her being in North Carolina, not to run down her looks, but to enumerate the fact that the competition is super stiff where she is.
Man, all the competition got to do is trip over a crack in the sidewalk. I mean,
shout out to Jacques Retro. Shout out to Jacques Retro. They hear bad when they hear average. That's true. That's true. Thanks for the super chat. Perfect Storm back in the building with a super chat. He says she was not average. She was barely a 4 because she was in shape. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, there's some, if you pause it at the right time, she looked okay. But when she started talking, if you gotta take like 10 tries, pausing it at the right moment, and you're like, okay, she look all right right there.
Hey, Bernard. Let me illuminate that for you. If you're watching your favorite porn with an ugly chick and you pause it at the right moment, you may be able to fap because she looks good.
what was dude's name? Mike Wachowski? Was that his name? Mike Wachowski off Monsters?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. God damn.
But yo, hey, on that money thing, right? If she is a groomer that has a kennel, she could make that, because when I go on vacation and I drop my dogs off for a week, that's like $700 for them to watch them for the week. And and a lot of people use kennels, so she could make that if she has a kennel as part of her grooming business.
Okay. Yeah, but we're just kind of using deductive reasoning. A person can't complete a sentence. You can't answer basic questions, but you can manage $100,000. It just does. It's not congruent. We check for congruency. There were holes in the story.
Oh. Wait. Here's my problem with this. Here's my problem.
When she said that she had a bunch of dudes like Pookie and Ray Ray's trying to be part of her business. And if, like I say, if you grew up in I don't care how the hardest hood you grow up, whatever, those nail shops and all those type of people who start those things. It's really not the women, and they take credit for it. But when they want to, I guess, level up, what do they usually do? They usually try to get like some corporate dudes. And you know what? I think that's exactly what she's trying to do. I think she's trying to get away from the Pookie and Ray Rays that's why she would not mention the relationship really with her baby daddy, because and Kevin said he was unscrupulous. If you put 2 and 2 together, I think that's the type of situation that she's trying to get out of.
Yeah, thank you. That was my theory about it. I don't know if it was Lamont or Pablo said it earlier. But my theory is that she was really looking for a daddy Warbucks to fund her business. That's really what she was looking for. But for the longest time, she pretty much, had dudes that was interested in her to siphon off her business. So because you listen to the call, you hear nothing about love, nothing about wanting a family, none of that. It was strictly business with her. So she was basically looking for a daddy Warbucks to come bail her out.
She was definitely trying to be the man of the relationship, because Kevin always tell these women, when you want to get with these type of guys, it's about their dreams. You have to follow them, submissive towards them. She's looking for someone to be submissive towards her. And that ain't happening. And then she have to realize.
Not only that, she thinks the guy making twice as much as her.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lamont. What were you saying?
Oh no, I was interrupting you. I was just interjecting. She thinks that the guy making twice as much as her is going to do that.
Exactly. And everything, and she failed to realize men and women don't attract each other the same way and everything. If a woman makes more and more money and everything, we don't find her attractive. We got to go to McDonald's and wife up a woman that makes $20 an hour at McDonald's, as long as she's feminine, nurturing and everything. They
don't make 20 at McDonald's. I don't know what city you live in.
I'm I'm using as an example.
It
Yeah,
ain't
like
975 around here.
But you know where I'm coming from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A cute waitress that works at a little small coffee shop could get wifed up by some dude to make 250,000 if he's attracted to her and she seems pleasant to be around.
Exactly.
That's all very possible. But yeah, no, ain't no chick that make 250,000 about to go swoop up the dishwasher in the back. So
Nope.
no. So yeah,
Nope.
no, that's true. That's obvious. I mean, that's what women
Yeah.
haven't been understanding until they start listening to Manosphere Talking Points. Man, I'm all over Google trying to find this chick, man. Yeah, I said that it's a picture out there, full body pic of her.
I'm gonna find it, bro. I got you. Let me go down my timeline. I'm gonna find it, bro. I'm gonna show you.
Here's a strange phenomenon, though, right? I work in IT, and I work with a lot of women. There's a saying in IT that goes, the mother had two daughters. One was beautiful, the other one worked in IT, right? Because women that work in IT are not that hot. And what I've noticed, I've been paying attention to, you'll have like the ugly white women who are making like six figures will go after that dishwasher.
Oh yeah,
But
some of them understand where they at in there. They basically gonna be paying for a man. Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
I've seen that a lot, and I was paying attention to that. However, the sisters who maybe like a 5 or maybe some of them a 6, they're out there looking for a 10, making twice as much as they do, and they're not learning anything from their white counterparts. So and then they're the ones who when the white counterpart husband come up, they're like, oh, she's with him. I would never. But they're alone, unmarried, and lonely.
Exactly.
Yep, but that family's got a nice 401k.
Right.
Oh,
I'm still
man.
searching for you, bro. Bro, you're gonna die when you see this picture, bro.
It's on your Facebook timeline.
And so I saw that shit like early this morning. It was just like, so this is the woman in the picture that everyone was giving Kevin flack about, giving her the truth. This is her body. I was like, oh my God. She's not horrible. Like, she's not Quasimodo, but yeah.
She's no 8, 9, and 10.
It damn sure wasn't a but my body though.
Shout out to Shane Vicious, said she looked like Sam Cassell's sister Samantha. Man, yeah, crazy.
She looked like Quark off of Star Trek.
Oh man,
that's old Star Trek. Y'all remember Quark?
Mr. Bobby Wright in the building. He said Jessica Gardner, Greenville, New York. Oh, wow. Okay, he just looked like he just dropped her.
That's the chick's name, Jessica Gardner.
But the thing about her is, she said in the show, if you listen to what's her name, she knows she should know, I guess, what a high value man is or whatever, because she said her dad and her uncle was that type of guy. So she's maybe playing willfully ignorant. I'm just thinking that, you know what, she's probably tired of being, some, dude's side piece or whatever, and she wants some validation and acknowledgement. That's why, I mean, because knowing her stature, knowing her rating, I mean, it befuddles me why she would even get on there and subject herself to that. I think she was just chasing some validation. She just wanted some validation. She probably is part of a situation where she's, somebody's side piece, and she wants to be the main.
Real quick, it's important to say that in the event that Mr. Bobby Wright did drop some truthful information, I'd feel the need to say any idiots do not go trolling if that's actual accurate information. Observe and report. That's all that should be done with it. Okay, people dropping the link. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up the YouTube feed. This is observe and report. Do not do nothing stupid. Do not. Okay, no, never mind. Never mind. Don't do it. But I'm sure she already catching hell. I mean, her thoughts, ideas, and stupidity can be criticized more or less. I ain't tripping on that. If she said some stupid shit on Kevin Samuels' show, or she has some unrealistic dating standards, we can analyze that. But what we can't do is go to somebody's personal Facebook page and be attacking folks. Like, no, don't Don't do that, fellas. Be best. Be best. Don't do that.
You know what?
All right.
You know what won't surprise me also too? If one of them damn talk shows like The Real and everything find this chick, bring her on their show, and remake her over, boosting her fame up, feeding off of Kevin and everything. I would not be surprised if that actually happens.
Say that again.
If some like those shows like The Real, Wendy Williams will find this chick, bring her on their show, do some makeup, do some hookup show that way to boost up her fame. I would not be surprised.
They're gonna
Lonnie love her.
Kevin will end up on there before she will. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you know the Real and all them other show, they've lined up ready to bash this situation. They probably gonna find her and do some makeover show for her and try to do some hookup episode with this chick.
Well, I mean, Halle Berry can't hold on to a high value man. Maybe she can.
They're gonna move the goalposts. Trust me. Wait till the claims.
They might find like they might find like a simp to date or something like that. I don't know, like some blonde date or something.
Exactly. Matter of fact, I think Steve Harvey would do that first before all them other woman shows do.
Yeah.
Has Derek Jackson made a response yet? Because I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
No, I don't know.
He probably working on it.
I don't know if he's gonna do that. I mean, his response is he responds so quick. I mean, he just sit in his car and do a quick video. So I mean, I don't think it's that much to work on if he was going to do a response. So I think it's fairly quick to do a response. I don't think he's gonna do it. I don't think he got the courage to do that.
Yeah. I don't think either, because he did like a video coming at Kevin, I think, either last week or the week before. So I guess like he kind of don't want that smoke if he was to, push his luck.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people gloss
smoke
over
from the
that
fellas?
Derek Jackson wasn't always Derek Jackson. He was somebody different when he first hit the scene. He
What do you
just
mean?
actually found that he was more like I guess not a dating coach type person, but trying to encourage men and all this type of stuff. But he found that lane for women, and then he completely just pivoted. Because if you look at Derek Jackson's old videos, he wasn't the simp that he was now. It's just he was kind of made into that simp, because he was like the football player, guy, and he was trying to, trying to tell people what you need to do to get women and all this type of stuff. And then I guess he just I don't know how he got a female following, but he just took that lane and ran with it. He wasn't always the same simp Derek Jackson that he was.
What was he saying before?
A lot of videos.
What was he saying before? How long have you known about Derek Jackson?
He's been, he probably about 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I'm talking about when he first started. When he first started.
How long ago did he first start?
He was mostly on Instagram and Twitter, and because he played football.
Okay, and what kind of stuff was he saying in terms of content?
It was more in the lines of that guy with the dreads. What's his name?
Stefan Lavoisier.
Trent Shelton.
Yeah, he was more.
Yeah, they are colleagues. They do shows together, so they don't know how that's any different.
I think he's talking about Trent Shelton.
Trent Shelton, or the guy with the dreads. The guy with the dreads is always on. He's more on Facebook. No, I'm saying he wasn't as heavy-handed with the simping before. He was more of more in the inspirational space. But a lot of black women started taking to it like.
So yeah, here we go.
Oh my God! Damn.
Now I did her wrong. I put up the worst one that I saw.
Nah, that ain't. Hey, that's the right one. That's the picture you gonna see when she come out of the bathroom in the morning.
Ew.
Okay.
Typical hood rat chick. We grew up in the hood.
Is that Kaya? Is that my neck and my back, Kaya?
That's a baby boy right there.
Yeah, it's some ratchetry.
Like a ratchet.
Shocker why she doesn't know any high value. Like that's the thing. Like I would think as high value.
Is everything.
I would think as high value men. I think the problem I have is this is what they think good black men who have put themselves in their lives together deserve. You know, you would think they would want to give you the best. Okay, black man, you've jumped through the nigga dance of life. All right, you won. Your reward is some broad you could have just screwed your life up with 10 years ago. I mean, like, why would I work, not have any kids, put all this money in my bank account, 12 hours a day, build myself to be this dope individual, just to settle with some 35, you know what I mean? Like, I could get that not being on my purpose. So if that's the best that brother's gonna be able to expect is a bunch of ran through, I'm sorry, you deserve fresh 23, 25-year-old poon. Sorry, that's what you deserve. You went through the gauntlet. Don't not try to have to convince you that that's what you deserve. And the fact that they're telling us that's what they're telling us they think of us. We're gonna come to you fat. We're gonna come to you ran through, and you better accept it, even though you are in the top 3% since you're black. How disrespectful is that? Women should be excited to bring those type of men their best. But they can't even get that right. They even telling the 6-figure guys, you gotta wait. Come on, man.
Right.
Oh yeah.
All right. Pop Smoke and Ghost. Her said her looks are solid as a rock. Yeah, I just went through the pictures. Consular Murray in their building. Shout out to Consular Murray with a LOL. All right, I'm about to share it one more time for one specific reason. I'm about to get one more joke, one joke in about something, and then we about to get up out of here. Hold on. Wait, no, wrong picture. Don't mean to pause it on the boy. That's
oh my God.
Cut
it out. That ain't hideous. It's just not, just not ain't all that.
You know, Kevin, I'm giving the same look that she gave when he mentioned, why can't you get an average guy?
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's where I'm at with it. It's the lack of self-awareness that makes it all, if you just see this woman just walking the streets, you ain't just running to the other side. Like, I mean, come on. But
you might check to make sure your wallet's in your back pocket.
But her thinking she qualified for a top 10% man and don't want to accept no less. That's where the problem comes in. But the point that I want to make here, notice what she's not doing in every picture. Oh, wait, she did it in that one. But for most of them, there, there's no smiling, and I think we know why.
Because she's insecure about that mouth,
Exactly.
There she go. See, Adams, yeah. That's
try to take those model-looking smiles with the.
It's possible she can get did up and look decent. She can look decent, but then there's some outright. Yeah, the ratchetry is bad. It's strong in this picture right here. Come on, that's just all bad.
Listen, I mean, we're not calling her hideous. We're saying you can get you a 50, 60,000 a year guy. I mean, that's still $20,000 more than the national average. We're such assholes.
Yeah, average at best. You can get an average guy. You can't get a top 10% guy. Yeah, that's legitimate. But look at her forehead game.
Like woman like this up, man. I've seen it happen.
Ooh.
Her like the curvature of her forehead. It's like you can
weave.
Like if you were right here and you saw a ship sail, you would see it disappear going over the horizon. That's a flat earth joke. But anyway,
I think that's alopecia attraction. That right there is alopecia attraction. I think it's like too much weave, like a hairline starting to recede.
Yeah, she got almost like a Mr. Burns hairline going on. But
look, Bernard, if she'd have came on and said, you know what, I've been, I'm tired, I just need a good man who's got good character, who's gonna be good to my son, you know what, would have had no problem with that. All right, let's find out how to get this woman that. But she came in there like her shit don't stink, with her nose all turned up from the rip. She came in really disrupting the show, and it rubs me the wrong way. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, you get the energy that you give other people. and you're not that great, and the world has shown you, but you turning your nose up. So when everybody else judge you, because again, those men that she wants is judging her as beneath them, just like she looking at them dudes that she thinks are beneath her. I mean, it's
Yeah, she just came from Thanksgiving. She just had Thanksgiving. You know, every auntie she had and every cousin she had. Girl, why you single? You know, you deserve a good man. So you know, she's going to believe that. You know, she hasn't had that real dose of reality. You know, she might be in a little small hood where, you know what, back in high school, she might have been like, you know, the fine chick in the school, depending on where she grew
wait,
up
hold on,
at.
wait, hold on. Time out. Okay. When women got money, like let's just say $100,000 a year, let's examine something. When women got money and they making six figures, they tend not to take raggedy looking bathroom pictures like this. I think we can rule out that 100K. I don't buy that.
From 2012, how long she been making this six figures?
Okay. Good job on seeing the date. My bad. Good work. Let's try to catch some more recent pictures. Good job. I like.
Look at the last four. I mean, the first four.
Yeah. If she look like it's greener pastures in the more recent pictures, then okay. Fair point. Fair call.
She did say.
I know, but there could be a lot of different things. You know, there's going to be women out now that scammed a $100,000 PPE loan, and they're going to say that they're six figures. So you never know. You never know.
You got a point right
She
there.
just might be
She
delusional.
was doing that this year like crazy, like, you know, getting them PPP loans. And
hey man, just believe her.
Exactly.
I mean, all of our spidey senses, man. All of our spidey senses. You got 19 red flags, and just believe her, man. All right.
Exactly.
You can't complete complete a sentence. You're taking selfies in the Section 8 apartment. You know, all these, but you know, you're a millionaire though. You Rockefeller. I got you.
Exactly. Tried to code it what she really means and shit, right?
Yeah. But anyway, we about to wrap this bad boy up. I mean that when I say don't be trolling this chick. She ain't done nothing wrong to nobody. Don't go doing nothing stupid. Don't be on her channel, fellas. I'm talking to idiots in the chat. I don't got no idiots in my chat. Yo, all very intelligent thinking brothers who would never do this. I'm wasting my breath. Y'all would never do that. But for real, let people live, let people breathe. Don't, you know, I'm sure she getting enough. So yeah, don't gotta come at her. She just, you know, she needed a dose of reality about where she ranked out on the sexual marketplace. Most women don't know where they rank or how to rank themselves, and she got a dose of reality, and it is what it is. But yeah, don't be attacking her. Don't be attacking her. Let's leave it there. And with that said, I'd like to thank everybody who came through today, everybody who either liked, share, subscribe, everybody who donated. Roastmaster 1, hit that cash app. Shout out to Omega Dreads, who was a formal sponsor of the show, came through with a heavy-handed super chat last time, and I didn't even shout him out like the what else? I think that pretty much covers it. That pretty much covers it. And yeah, I think I'll probably see some of y'all later tonight when I'm observing the chat at Kevin Samuel's show tonight, because I know that's gonna be.
I think everyone in the universe is gonna be watching Kevin Samuel's show tonight.
Kevin, he gonna have at least 10K live viewers. At least 10K live viewers. At least. But either way,
it's what, Wednesday? It ain't the weekend. Everybody at home. Oh yeah,
man.
Damn the Mandalorian.
It's going down. It's going down. But all right, fellas, we up out of here. Peace.
Peace.